have watched all of Star Trek The Next Generation for the first time over the last 2 years. And today we decide the best 26 episodes of the series. And Alex, this is, as someone who loves to do lists and rankings and grades and all that, this was one of the hardest things I think I've ever done in terms of on this channel.
Yeah, I think near top 5, I have a pretty good idea. The tough ones are the teens and even the 20s, where I'm trying to justify and constantly changing, switching things around and thinking about it. Even as I'm looking at my honorable mentions and the ones in my bottom 20, 26, bottom 20s, I'm just like, So, but it's one of those lists. It's going to probably change every day, but per the terms of this recording, this is going to be out into the ether forever. I can literally constantly change this, I think, but you got to get it out there. And yeah, it was very tough to do. A lot of copy paste, switch around, but we got to get it out there.
Yes, and just keep in mind, we've watched the series once. I personally did go back and rewatch a lot of the ones that I felt would be in contention, but for the most part, this is kind of a first watch list. Like, this is what we connected with, what we loved after that first watch. And we're both people that connect much more with things on a personal level than, I would say, your typical Star Trek fan. But don't worry, because we also have our patrons list. So if you're sitting there getting furious at what's on our list or what's not on it in the order, you still have the patrons list. And I don't know your list, Alex, and you don't know mine. But I did put together the patrons ones, and I know that it is very different than mine. So hopefully one of our 3 lists will be one that you can relate to. But if you want to make lists for these videos, you already missed your chance for TNG, unfortunately. But we're watching all of Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, and sign up over on the Patreon. Target demographic tier or higher gets to submit their list for these. So thank you to all those patrons. Over 50 of them were submitted for this video. So
wonderful. It's been on record where I have lined up more of the patrons list than you have, but I think for the season 2 Deep Space Nine and season 7 TNG, we started to sway away a little bit. So I'm wondering if we're going to match up this time.
I think, based on what I know you like and I like, our list will probably have a lot of crossover in terms of the episode selection, but I think all 3 of these lists are going to be very different.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think, even as I say mine, I'm going to go, should have put that higher or lower or not be on the list at all. Because I'm looking at my honorable mentions, I'm like, oh, that's a good episode. Fuck.
And speaking of honorable mentions, we usually do them before number 1 as a little bit of a reveal. I figured we should just do them right off the top because, for me personally, I do have a few that were like my absolute honorable mentions that I could not get on there and wanted to. But there were a number of episodes that I also were not on my list and I wanted to just give a shout out. So I'll just go through those.
Okay.
I have them kind of categorized.
Oh.
So first, I want to just start by pissing everyone off. Let's just get that out of the way. I have a group of episodes that I absolutely respect, why they're loved, and why they're good, and why they might even be number 1, if not top 3, top 5, top 10 on a lot of lists. But for me personally, these don't connect with me enough to be on my list. Q-Who, the introduction of the Borg, All Good Things, the finale of the show, Best of Both Worlds, the first 2-parter obviously, The Inner Light, and Cause and Effect. All of those episodes, I'm not sitting here saying they're bad. I get it. For me, they're not my favorite episodes of the show. I mean, you can reveal what you want to reveal. Any of those that weren't on your list that you feel the same way about?
That weren't on my list that probably are. I'd say Cause and Effect. I think that should be on there, yeah. But my honorable mentions, I think the one that I really wanted to be on there because it was my favorite of season 1 was The Big Goodbye. I love that episode.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not on there, yeah.
But didn't make the list. Ethics, The Wounded, Brothers, and The Pegasus. You said another episode. Yeah, we'll stick with that for now.
Yeah, I didn't say any of those.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, definitely some surprises in there that I'm surprised aren't on your list. So, for sure. I still have a few more. These are just kind of categories that I didn't do this on purpose. It just ironically didn't make my list. I don't have any holodeck episodes on my list. So specifically the ones I really love, The Big Goodbye, Fistful of Data, Ship in a Bottle. None of them made my list. I love the holodeck. I think for the most part, the only bad holodeck episode is Emergence. I don't, I think the rest of them are all pretty good to great, but they did not make my list. If I had to pick one, Fistful of Data is probably my favorite holodeck episode, but Ship in a Bottle and Big Goodbye are right there as well.
That's not. Let me add that one to my honorable mentions as well. Fistful of Datas.
Fistful of Datas?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also don't have any episodes that are focused on Ensign Ro. There might be some that have her, I'm not sure, but her first episode, Ensign Ro, The Next Phase, and Preemptive Strike, those aren't on my list. I really liked Ensign Ro as a character, but she just didn't have any, incredible episodes, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and
sure.
then also this one hurt, but I don't have a Loaxena Troy episode on my list. And I really, really like Loaxena Troy. Haven, a season 1 episode, I think is underrated. Not only good for Loaxena Troy, but also the very first time in the show, and then the only time for multiple seasons when you can look at Deanna and go, oh, we actually have a real character here, not just, what's my feeling? Until season 4. So I liked Haven. Half a Life is an incredible episode. Dark Page is the only episode that made me cry that did not make my list. And I just want to say also, I would love more Betazoid representation in Star Trek moving forward. I don't know if we'll ever see any again, but I really like that. Now these are my actual honorable mentions.
Oh, Jesus Christ, okay.
So those were just all episodes that I wanted to hit. But this is the episodes that I really, really wanted to make my list, and some of them maybe even at some points were on my list, but did not make it. Night Terrors, directed by Les Landau, did not make the list. Love Night Terrors, obviously, big horror fans, we are. Did not make the list. Conspiracy from season 1, that's a great one. That was one of the first, oh shit, let's see what this show is. Directed by Cliff Bull, the introduction of the Bullions. Love that one. Rewatched it. That was one I rewatched for this list, but just didn't make it.
Okay.
And still really good. It holds up for season 1 for sure.
I'll add that to my honorable mentions.
A Matter of Honor. The Frakes, or the Riker episode in season 2 where he goes to the Klingon ship, directed by Rob Bowman. What happened to Rob Bowman? Disappeared. He directed the first 2 seasons. Disappeared. Don't know.
Huh.
But Matter of Honor really loved. I love the scene where Frakes is talking to the Klingon on the ship about his father and how he doesn't talk to him because he's disgraced, and he's like, a Klingon does not do that, and Riker's like, yesterday, I didn't know how to eat gog. And then he's eating it in front of him. Great moment. First moment with Riker where you're like, yeah, they know, they're going to do something with him.
Oh, yeah.
And then speaking of Riker, my top one that I really, really wished I could have put on the list but didn't make it, Frame of Mind. Directed by James L. Conway, who directed season 1 episodes like Justice and then disappeared. And then he came back and directed Frame of Mind. And then he's also directed some DS9 since then. But really loved Frame of Mind. Probably one of the best Riker episodes, best in terms of Frakes getting to act, but it was on my list almost until the very end. It got kicked out, but I did really enjoy it.
Shit. Okay.
So here we go. You can start it off, Alex.
Oh, boy.
With number 26.
I'm starting to rethink everything. Oh, well, it's my number 26 is Disaster. I think Disaster was one of my favorite. What if this happened? What if something happened at Enterprise where everything got shut down and everyone was separated in different groups? I've already explained all this before, but I loved all of it. Even the Geordi Beverly stuff, whatever, that's fine. But I just loved all the different ideas. Probably the first instance of a Captain Troy that we get to see, and Chief was there with Ensign Ro. Those two characters, that's great, hanging out together. Yeah, I don't want to go into a long spiel about each one.
Yeah, if we talk about for 2 minutes, but each one will be here forever. Yeah, it's going to be...
So, Disaster.
Yeah, I'll just say, Disaster not on my list. Like I said, I think these are going to be different lists for sure. I think Disaster for me, this list is so tight. All these episodes I would consider S tier. And I don't, and I don't like the Geordi Beverly thing, like you said. So it's just something that little, take it out of my list.
Okay.
But great episode, and Captain Troy is awesome, and I love the little stumbles. Some people were making fun of her, saying oh, clearly she can't be Captain, look at this. But I like the little kind of oh, okay, what do we do? Not really being sure, you know, of it. It's great. Also, Picard and the kids.
Picard and the kids.
Excellent moment.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do the patrons in the middle. So the patrons. How I do this is everyone submits their list. Now, everyone did submit a 26, but for my own sanity, and just because of the way the points work, I scored the top 15 of every list unless we needed more. So everything on here was in top 15s. Anything that earned points was in top 15. So since we already did honorable mentions, what I would say is real honorable mentions, the ones that were closest but didn't make the list. Who Watches the Watchers had 38 total points. Not on my list.
Not on my list.
Good for you. Genesis. You had 31 points. I'm glad it was represented. Didn't make their list, but it was represented. And here's a wild card one: The Nth Degree, the one with Barkley.
Yeah, I rewatched that one. That's a fun little one.
That one has 29 points. Those are what I would consider their honorable mentions that just didn't make it. I'm going to quickly just rattle off. These are not even in order, but these are all episodes that got points. These are all episodes that were in somebody's top 15, at least. Conspiracy, First Contact, Heart of Glory, The Emissary, 110101, Preemptive Strike, The Battle, Rascals, Where No One Has Gone Before, The Chase, Second Chances, Skin of Evil, Ship in a Bottle, Parallels, Disaster, Data's Day, Ensign Row, Half a Life, Inheritance, A Matter of Perspective, Data Lore, Frame of Mind, Brothers. Sixto voted for Sub Rosa in his top 15. The Big Goodbye, Deja Q, The Survivors, Clues, Silicon Avatar, The Next Phase, Tin Man, Hollow Pursuits, Unification, Attached, The Mind's Eye, A Matter of Honor, Fistful of Datas, Face of the Enemy, Power Play, Future Imperfect, The Most Toys, Ethics, Starship Mine, and the last one that got votes but didn't make the list, The Bonding. And The Bonding only was a top 15 in one person's list. Misty Step, patron Misty Step, was in their list. Did not make anyone's top 15 outside of them. And that is all of the episodes that are not on their list and got votes.
Okay.
All right. They're number 26, so we're officially into it now. They're number 26. The First Duty, 50 total points. The Wesley episode. Good episode. Not on my list.
Not on my list.
Good episode, though. And Wesley leaving the show and then finally having a good episode when he comes back the next season. Definitely one of the highlights of season 5. I'll give it that.
Yeah, for sure.
Good episode. And then my number 26. Heart of Glory. Directed again by Rob Bowman. Every season of the show is represented on my list with at least one episode. This is the season 1 episode that made my list, and just barely. The first glimpse of Worf here in terms of the actual character, what we're going to end up getting. The scene with him and the other Klingon next to the warp core in engineering, and you know the quotes better than me.
The true measure of war is not without, it is within. Here is where we meet that challenge. You are now Klingon. Perhaps not.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I'm adding that to my honorable mentions.
So not on your list. Yeah.
Yeah, not on my list.
Yeah, great for season 1. That's my favorite season 1 episode. Just made the list. Between that and Frame of Mind, I could put either one there. But Heart of Glory, I felt it was a little bit more important to me, and it has that Worf stuff in it. So really like it. Also, the whole Geordi stuff at the beginning with the visor, getting to see what he sees out of his visor when they're on the other ship.
Oh, and they think it's Romulans.
Yeah, and they think it's Romulans. Klingons.
Yeah, that was a great. Oh, that was a great.
I think it was the first Klingons outside of Worf that were in the show.
Yeah, and Picard is very curious about Geordi's visor. Oh, is this what you see? Oh, wow.
Yeah, and in a moment I forgot about is when he looks at Data, and Picard's like, "Oh, there's some type of aura around Data," and he's like, "Isn't that what you all see?" Like him not knowing, that no one would see that great stuff. So we're gonna snake it. So then my number 25. Honestly, dude, this is an episode I kind of forgot about and didn't think it would be on my list. And I watched it and I went, "Oh yeah, this is great." Sarek from season 3, directed by Les Landau.
Okay.
Sarek, obviously one of our favorite guest characters from TOS. They bring him back, Mark Leonard, the goat, and just like a weird plot where like he has this disease, and not only that, but it's affecting everyone on the ship, and everyone starts getting angry at each other. Riker and Picard yelling at each other on the bridge. You get Mommy Beverly. She scolds Wesley and smacks him. That's, and we get Data playing the concert and Sarek crying. I remember at the time being like, could you imagine if I had told you you're going to watch Sarek crying, watching Data playing an instrument? Just a lot of great scenes in that one.
Was that the one with Guinan's gun and the bad effect on the ceiling?
No, that is... Are
you sure?
Yes, that is Night Terrors.
That is Night Terrors?
Where they all start fighting in the thing.
Okay.
This one, though, there is the original fight.
There is a fight. There is a fight in 10-4.
And this one, it's the reveal where Riker, and it might be Worf, are walking down, and they're like, oh, I don't know what's going on, and the doors of 10-4 open, and it's just everyone fighting. Yeah.
Yeah. Patrons number 25?
Patrons number 25. Patrons number 25 with 54 total points. Relics. Relics.
Okay.
If you watched our general discussion recap video, I said there was one episode in season 6 I rewatched to know how I felt about it. It was Relics. I couldn't remember. I really liked it when we watched it. I went back and rewatched it. I still like it. Didn't make my list. It's great for what it does, and the whole send off of TOS, the bridge, there's a lot of great moments. But just as a whole, it didn't make my list.
Okay.
But that was their number 25.
Gotcha. My number 25. I have a feeling this one might be on your list, but I'm not sure. The Offspring with the Lol. Just a great performance, directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah, his first one.
His first one, hilarious moments with Frakes kissing Lol and 10 forward, and that emotional send off, and just I wish I could feel it for you. Oh, it just hits me. And the fact that Lol is referenced and mentioned throughout the show, even by picture, just great. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're snaking it. So mine 24. My number 24. The quality of life, sticking with Data and New Life.
Hey.
Yeah. The quality of life was just a surprising one, but a welcome one. Shout out Phantom Menace. I didn't expect a Measure of the Man, basically 2, and just one of the strongest Data moments in my opinion of him just shutting down. It's just one of my favorite moments ever of him saying, "No, I'm not doing this. Fuck you."
And that was also directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Was that really?
Yeah.
So back to back.
That was the one where I predicted it from the hook. I was like, "Is this Frakes directing?" And then it was. I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, the testing they were doing, and this woman accidentally creating.
Being pissed that she created sentient life.
It's like that's how I imagine if there is a God, that's how he feels about us.
That was your number 24?
24, yep.
The Patrons number 24 with 57 total points. The Pegasus with John Locke Pressman.
I wish that one made my list. I really like the John Locke Pressman. I really like the Pegasus. I don't know why it didn't, but it's one of those where
it's good.
It's good.
It's just not, didn't make my list either.
Didn't make my list, yeah.
My number 24, we always say every time they do a Geordi episode, it's dog shit. And I forgot. There is a good Geordi episode, not good because of what happens to him, but good in the sense that he's the focus, and it's one of my favorite episodes, The Mind's Eye.
Really?
Directed by David Livingston. And I rewatched this one.
Okay.
And first of all, it's hilarious how obvious. This is the Sela shaded in shadow, and we don't get the reveal in this one.
Oh, really? Okay.
And they kidnap Geordi. He's on the shuttle. They kidnap him. And then it's so obvious it's her. Like, her voice, it's Denise Crosby. Like, it's so obvious. Now, it's actually not her standing there. It's like a stand-in. Okay. But it's her voice is so obviously her. The fact that we didn't pick that up when we watched it, I'm, like, shocked.
Really?
But it's in hindsight. Like, once your brain knows it's her, you know?
I mean, we would never really guess.
Also, great job on the credits, actually not spoiling it. Even though if it said Sela, we wouldn't have known what that meant anyway. But I think it just said woman or something. But yeah, Geordi gets mind controlled in this one. We get to see the inside of his visor again. All the stuff with the Enterprise Data to Worf when he's like, "That is an order, sir," about arresting Geordi when he figures it out. But my favorite part of it, and this is one of those things where this list, comes down to what do I want from Star Trek. And one of the things is endings that make you think and go, oh shit. The ending of this one where it's Geordi and Troy. And Geordi's like trying to remember. And he's like, "No, I went to Risa. I was there." And Deanna's like, I know. We have to work through it. And he's like, "Now, what'd you do when the Romulan ship showed up? Did you call for help?" And he's like, "No, And then he like starts to remember the Romulan ship. And he's like, that doesn't make any sense. He's like, "It's okay. We'll work through it." And then that's the end of the episode. Downer ending, but also like, holy shit. Like the reality. We don't often get to see the reality of what the characters like go through after it's over. It's like, oh, ha,
Yeah.
But no, it was like that reality. Really loved it. Also great moment from Marina Sirtis too.
Fuck yeah. You know what? As I'm looking at this list, I realized I forgot a pretty big one. So I might have to do some on-the-fly change in here.
My number 23, Inheritance, directed by Robert Shearer. Robert Shearer, I just want to say, I feel like he's on this list. I have all the directors down, and he's on this list quite a bit. We've praised a lot of directors, Klippel, Winrick Colby, Frakes, obviously. Robert Shearer's kind of the low-key, we never really react when his name comes up, but I didn't realize he directed a lot of excellent episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe because his direction's never like the main focus of it, like it never stands out,
Maybe
but good director. Inheritance, Data's mom, great reveal that she's an android. The actress was great. We just talked about this a lot in our season 7 recap. So, really loved it. Loved Data family episodes. So that's my number 23. And then the Patrons number 23 with 60 total points, Sins of the Father with Worf. I'm sure we'll probably talk about that more. So maybe, I don't know. But you can
No,
go
it's
ahead.
not on my list.
It's not on your list.
Not on my list.
I actually, yeah, it's not on my list either. But really enjoyed it. You really loved it even more than me at the time. Tony Todd.
Yeah, I really did because the episode just completely switched up on us and wasn't expecting. I was totally expecting, oh, Enterprise is going to be ran by a Klingon, and it ends up being Worf's brother, and all this stuff about honor and the whole thing about ripping and then turning their backs on him. Yeah.
And end up one of the best end on the scene moments. Him and Picard walking out and end on the scene.
Yeah, good stuff.
You're 23?
My number 23 is The Drumhead. I love this episode so much. I did rewatch it, and the whole, just, I think the conversation was it with Worf and Picard at the end about like how the horrible parts of ourselves are always trying to find our way to the top, and we have to find our ways to basically not be witch hunters, and we have to be better. And just this poor kid, it's not his fault that his grandfather was Romulan. All that was great, and just Picard's biggest fuck you to this lady. Oh, who said that quote? He doesn't say your dad, but says the father's name. How dare you? And then that one admiral, I'm leaving.
Oh yeah, when he just stands up and leaves.
And everyone just leaves her in there.
Her name. I just rewatched that one. So Admiral Sadie was the woman, and best example of how to be a bad admiral. I mean Pressman too, but without having go away heat. Like she was actually really good, even though you're rooting against her. That's a great one. Also, low key, you forget about the whole Romulan Vulcan kid who lies about being a Vulcan, but it's great. Yeah, good stuff. Your number 22?
My number 22 is Night Terrors. I fucking love Night Terrors and just all the stuff that was happening, the horror movie aspect, especially Beverly in sickbay and all the bodies sitting up, all that was great. Or we just talk about the importance of editing and music when Riker's is in his quarters by himself and he just keeps like turning the corner, and just if you put a laugh track behind it, you'd be fucking laughing. But with the score, you feel the tension in there. And then Data sending Picard to bed at the end. Sir, go to bed. I order you to bed. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's maybe the first big example of how our stuff changes or how fluid the lists are in the sense of like, that in Clues was your number one, of season 4, I remember. And, that number 22 is a little bit lower I would have expected.
That was my number 1 of season 4?
You did a tie, that in Clues, yeah. But,
yeah.
But these lists change all the time, as you watch more and things reflect, or maybe a future episode does it better. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. Is that was your number 22?
22.
So the patron's number 22 with 62 total points was Sarek. So that makes sense. My number 22, I feel kind of the same way of what I just said about how things can change. This is my first two-parter. Now, myself, I always just do two-parters as one. First two-parter of the list, Redemption. Directed by, part 1 was David Carson, part 2 was Cliff Bole. And Redemption is excellent. I used to think, I just like that two-parter because of part 2 is incredible, which it is. But no, part 1's really good as well. And you have the whole back and forth with Worf not knowing what he wants to do. Ultimately, he leaves the Enterprise. Do I wish that could have been a little bit longer of an arc instead of him just coming right back in the premiere?
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't come back, it's literally the very end of part 2. He says, "Sir, permission to return." But maybe make it a little bit longer arc. But as a standalone two-parter, excellent story. Also, this is kind of, in my opinion, the completion of Worf's arc. Like, does things happen after this? Yes. But in the same way, I feel like every character you can kind of pinpoint when in the show, that's the completion of their arc for the most part. And I think that's Worf's. It starts with Sins of the Father, him, becoming dishonored.
Yeah.
And then it carries through until, this moment.
It feels fast to us because we watched it, pretty close together. But back then, they had a few months to sit with Worf being gone, I guess so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I give him that.
Yeah, that's fair. And then my number 21, The Drumhead. Directed by Jonathan Frakes. And that was the 8x10 I had him sign.
Yeah, look at that.
Loved it for all the same reasons you just said. Also, court episode in a way.
Court.
I just love the whole time about Picard sticking up for all these people getting interrogated, and like every time they, Admiral Sadie and the telepath or empath or whatever
it was Betazoid.
Yeah, Betazoid
guy.
It was a
Betazoid.
Yeah.
Oh, that Betazoid guy, he was slimy and he fucking tricked Worf or something and got him to say something he didn't want to say.
They made Worf feel as if he was on their side the whole time, and then right at the end he's like, you think it's a very smart idea to have someone whose father was a Romulan traitor as your chief of security, and Worf stands up towards him, and Picard's like, hey.
Oh yeah.
But he's like, Picard's defending these people, like when that kid who lied about having a Romulan grandfather is on the stand, and Picard's like, we're shutting this down, like, But I really love the moment when they straight up ask the kid, and he's like, you lied, didn't you? Your grandfather's Romulan. And then Frakes just like walks up and whispers to him, and the kid's like, based on my advice from my counsel, I can't argue and incriminate myself. Great stuff. So that was my 21. So the Patrons 21. 72 points. I'm glad it's on their list. I do wish it was higher, but it is on their list. Remember Me made their list at number 21.
That's great.
What about your 21?
My number 21, Data's Day. I fucking love Data's Day. Let's just slow everything down. Let's see what Data does for a day. The whole thing with the Romulan, or the Vulcan actually being a Romulan, that's whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's so many times in Star Trek. Oh, it's been 6 weeks since we. Fuck. What do you mean it's been 6 weeks? But just literally one day on the Enterprise, Data's Day, and dealing with Keiko and Chief and the wedding and all that, all the little funny stuff with that. It's just I love a little bit of a slice of life. I love things like that, and this. Do I want that all the time? No, but I do love when we can just sit down, breathe, and have Data interact with every character. And he's also talking shit about, not talking shit, but writing a report to Bruce Maddox, but he does talk shit to him. I will agree that your report is not really blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking get him, Data.
Also, for a character that never shows up again in TNG, just like a random callback to him was great.
Yeah, so good.
Not on my list. But
Really?
but I will say, I said this in our Bridge Crew Discord a few months ago when I rewatched it. I always used Data's Day as my example of what's an A that's not an S. Oh, well, it's Data's Day. It's an episode where absolutely nothing is wrong, like in terms of my complaints. The Romulan thing like didn't bother me, and it's like nothing is wrong with this episode. It's just not one of those. It's not an S. And then I rewatched it and I went, fuck, this is an S. I'm like, it's great. It's excellent. One of Data's best episodes. Him dancing with Beverly and him doing the wedding and him just everything he does. His narration in it, it's also great. Just didn't make my list. It's still, even then, I can still concede, but even then, it's not one of mine. And that was your number 21?
That was my number 21. So
right.
Am I doing 20 now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had the Inner Light there, but I do enjoy the Inner Light, but I'm adding it to my honorable mentions.
Uh-oh.
Because you know what episode I'm thinking, which one do I replace it with? I'm like, okay, Inner Light, yeah. Everyone likes Inner Light, but Inner Light is better to me because of lessons, in my opinion. It helps continue that. But believe me, Inner Light is fucking fantastic. I really enjoy the Inner Light. The ending with the flute really gets me every time. I almost cried when I rewatched it. But, you know what, I might keep it as a tie. It's half honorable.
It's a tie, okay.
It's a tie, half honorable mention, half tie. Because my fucking dumbass forgot the Defector in my list. Yeah, and I forgot how great the Defector was. And that actor came back to play two other Star Trek characters. One named fucking Alexander.
Yeah, James Sloyan.
Father
of Samantha Sloyan.
From the Mike Flanagan
Which I didn't put together until just a few weeks ago.
Which is insane. But yeah, I was looking through my list and I went, I forgot one. The Defector is fucking amazing. I love everything with it. Just what he said about his daughter. My daughter will think I'm a traitor, but she gets to live because of what I did, and then he fucking kills himself. It's like, this is so tragic. I love it. Yeah.
And just him on the bridge when he finds out that it was all like a lie from
Tom
the
whole ruse with that guy. Yeah.
Tom Locke, and he just goes, it was for nothing. My family, my world, I threw it away for nothing. And they all just stare at him. I'm like, damn, guys, Deanna, where are you? Can someone step in and talk to this guy? Nope, he killed himself.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
You know what? I should have rewatched that one. God damn it.
Yeah, that was one of the ones where you talked about that ending. I was on the fence. Like, I was rewatching it, and I'm like, is this one, I'm not going to obviously spoil anything, but I'm like, is this one, as good as I remember it? Because it was my favorite of season 3 at the time. It was number 1.
Yeah.
And then you get to that ending. And I go, oh, fuck.
You get to that ending.
Yeah.
So many episodes, if they have a great button, everything else can be forgiven.
Yeah.
Most things can be forgiven, but when you have an ending like that, it's just, oh.
And it wasn't like bad or anything. Like,
No,
it was
no,
still
no,
really
no,
great,
no.
but it was like A level. Like, I was like, okay, what is it about this that I was like, oh, and yeah, that ending. And then when he's dead, and then Worf's like, why would he write this letter? He knows we can't give it to him. He's like, maybe one day. And it's like, oh, chills. Chills. All right, that was your 20.
Yep, that was
Your
my
20 tie.
My
Okay.
20 tie. You know, I always have a tie. It's part of the gimmick.
Get over it. Number 20 for the patrons was 75 total points. Darmok.
Really?
You like that more than me.
Yeah, and no spoilers, but
Yeah.
it is on my list.
Not on mine. But yeah, that is their number 20.
20, really, guys?
Yeah,
Wow.
I expected it a little higher as well. Yeah, for how much shit I got.
That's why they lowered it, because you gave it shit.
They're like, Josh is making these lists. Don't even bother, as if I'm going to affect it somehow. And then my number 20, The Wounded.
Oh shit! Okay.
Directed by random TNG director Chip Chalmers.
Chip Chalmers.
Yeah, The Wounded, great episode. I don't hate you, Cardassian. I hate what I became because of you. Just instant iconic moment.
Yep.
Also, the guy who was his captain, in the previous ship, and just like
Oh
all
yeah,
of that.
Shawshank guy, and then the debut of Mark Alamo.
Oh yes, as Golmasset.
Yeah. I went back and rewatched this one. I'm like, oh yeah. And then I realized it wasn't Ducat. He was playing a different fucking Cardassian. And they had those helmets too. Remember that?
Yeah, thank God they got rid of those. Yeah.
Yeah, don't need those.
But yeah, great stuff with him. And then also the fact of like Data's Day, I remember us being like, oh, they're never going to bring back this Keiko person again. Literally opening scene of The Wounded, him eating with Keiko and not liking the food and being like, let me make food for you. You know, my mom, she used to make me this old homemade. I'll have to use a replicator, of course. But, I'll cook you food. And then she's like, okay, and then I'll give you something special. I mean, Keiko and Miles, just best Star Trek couple of all time. Great.
So good.
And
because we still have some seasons left of Deep Space Nine, and the show can get tragic. Please, just nothing can happen to them.
Let's keep them safe.
Keep them safe, please.
And Molly too. Put her in there.
Molly too. Yes,
Yeah.
the kid is fine.
But my favorite part of that episode though is actually the ending with Picard, where he's talking to Golmasset, and he's like, if I had gone on that ship, there would have been shit on there. Like, he was right, wasn't he? And he's like, no, sir, no. And then Picard's like, we'll be watching, and then just fucking turns in his chair, turns his back to the Cardassian. And, Miles says early in the episode, like, you learn to watch your back around these people. Picard just turns his back to him. Now, when Miles said it was racism, but it's but that's okay.
But now with the context that they were actually...
Yeah.
You know what? I might even... It's number one. Okay.
It's number one. Yeah, great one. And then my number 19... I think you might have already said this one, or maybe it was my honorable mention. I don't remember. My 19, The Quality of Life, directed by Jonathan Frakes. Yeah, great episode. I think this was one of the ones where my first time watch reaction was like, oh, this is one of the best episodes ever. And at the end, like now it's number 19, kind of. But nothing about it like got worse or anything. It just was really good first time watch. I mean, that moment with Data, one of the best. You know, I shut it down, sir. One of the best. And taking Maddox's best argument that we only treat Data as a human because he looks like a human and proves it wrong with the exocomps. You want to know what kind of sci-fi stories I love? That's the sci-fi story I love. How far can we go removed from a humanoid and still consider it a sentient, being? And that should, deserve rights and everything. And that was a great example.
God, I love this show.
The Patrons number 19. This was technically a tie with Darmok because it had also 75 points, but Darmok was not number one on anyone's lists. This episode was number one on someone's list, and it was Lessons with 75 points. Glad it made someone's list. It was Kaylee who's number one on your list, and Kaylee actually said that she plays the flute and has had a connection to that episode for a long time, so it was not us that convinced them. But I'm glad that made the list, so I gave it the edge over Darmok because it was a number one on someone's list. Obviously, I'll talk about that later. Your number 19.
My number 19, Clues. Clues is, I fucking love the whole idea of Clues, of just not knowing what's going on. I love the whole idea of why is Data acting so weird? Why is he not answering our questions? On a rewatch, it's, you kind of know what's going on, but I'm talking about just in terms of a first time watching, that's great. And just because it doesn't like hold your hand at all. It's like Data's lying to us and we have no idea why. And then when fucking Deanna gets taken over by the thing, it has failed. And we're like, what has failed? What's going on? And us being behind Data, I think that's great. So, a lot of fun. And the fact that the episode ends and the only one that knows what happened is Data. And it's like, oh, let's get this right this time. And the respect of, okay, Picard, all right, we're going to do this again. We got to respect these species. Like, I dig it. Cool.
Yeah. Not on my list, but I do really love possessed Deanna. Great part of that. And how she grabs Worf's wrist and just throws him.
Yes, and early on in the episode, in the background, you see Worf selling his wrist.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love little things like
Good stuff.
It could have easily been, it zooms in on his wrist. Oh, my wrist hurts for some reason after I must have hit on it when I fell. No, none of that. You see him in the fucking foreground. He's not even fully in frame.
Yeah.
Subtlety.
I think this was also the episode that opened with everyone just messing around because nothing was going on. So like Worf's teaching his class, Beverly's like growing plants.
Yes.
Picard is in the holodeck with Guinan doing
House
Dixon.
tour.
I think the last time we saw Dixon Hill was that little short thing with Guinan there, which is unfortunate. But
that is, yes.
But yeah, great stuff.
Yeah.
That was your
19. Yeah. So now my number 18.
Yeah.
Number 18, the savior of season 6, Relics.
Nice.
Yeah, I absolutely loved Relics. We got the TOS send-off that we always wanted. We finally got to see Geordi hang out with Scotty, and we think, oh, they're going to be buddy-buddy, and they end up fighting. And then they end up becoming friends. They save the day together. The scene on the Enterprise bridge when I totally thought they were just going to, just a picture of it.
Green screen.
Yeah, green screen it in. But no, they got Star Trek fans helped them build that, right, and sent the stuff in for that. The great moment of them having a drink together on the bridge, and Scotty saying, of all the ships I've served on, I don't even like being captain. Like, this was where it was at. And just the respect to where it started. Because so many people love Star Trek just for TNG, but just to remember, like, hey, where we came from. And yeah, I'm getting a little emotional thinking about it. It's I love it.
One thing I thought, I rewatched that episode, like I said, and it didn't make my list, but one thing I really thought was funny was at the end, Scotty and Geordi are walking, and Scotty's like, so now you're going to buy me that drink in 10 forward? And he's like, actually, I got another idea. And he shows him the shuttlecraft, and he's like, oh, no way, you're getting my own shuttle? And he just fucking leaves. And it was funny just the way it came off, like, oh, we're going to go have a drink at 10 forward. I'm not going anywhere. No, get out of here. Take the shuttle and leave. But no, great episode.
And left the door open for more stuff to happen with Scotty. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows, yeah.
And one of the best reveals, too, where I started to put it together, like, that's not the normal transporter sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what, and like, whoa, yeah.
Yeah, 100 times better than the Spock reveal, yeah. Also not spoiled, so good for them. I don't mean us, I mean the episode didn't spoil it with the credits.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, that was your 18?
18.
Yep. Number 18 for the patrons, 86 total points. Iborg made their list.
Really?
A little bit of a divisive episode for the patrons in terms of, I'll talk about it later, but yeah, made their list at number 18. My number 18... controversial one, but hey, I mean, Best of Both Worlds and Inner Light and stuff didn't even make my list, so y'all should be appreciative this is even on here. But number 18 is Yesterday's Enterprise, directed by David Carson. Excellent direction. I rewatched this one, and I'm gonna be honest, I thought at first Yesterday's Enterprise was in that list with Inner Light and Best of Both Worlds of like, yeah, I get it, I get why it's loved, but it's not my favorite. But I rewatched it, and I'm like, wow, this is really fucking good. The only thing I really remembered in terms of what I connected to on my first time watch was the Tasha reveal. It's the best reveal in the whole show, not spoiled by the credits. And, we switch to the other universe. He just turns and she's right there. Amazing reveal. David Carson, directed, like I said. But no, what I really actually ended up really liking about it on the rewatch too is how ballsy it was just as a concept, but then also the fact that it is the ultimate Tasha Yar episode. This person who is in one season of the show and dies, and just like, oh, let's make one of the, biggest scope, like big budget type episodes focused on her. It's just like how fucking like random and incredible the fact that they even pulled that off.
The Bulls.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. So I really enjoyed it a lot, even more on my rewatch.
It's my what's the older woman Bluth from Arrested Development?
Lucille Bluth.
Good for her.
Good for her. Yeah, and also, like, just the look of it. The ship is darker, the uniforms, like, Tasha's hair slicked back, like, fucking Shooter McGavin being in it,
Oh, yeah.
All that's great. And, yeah, the Sela stuff, does it kind of take away from it? Yeah, knowing that she just ends up dying again, I guess, in a way. But I like to look at it, it's episodic. I look at it as this one episode, what comes after is whatever. And I really liked that. And the stuff with Guinan, where she's like, you're not even supposed to be here. Where am I supposed to be? Dead. It's just like, fuck. And then the ending, with her and Geordi. Tell me about Tasha Yar. Great stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, just goosebumps that God, this show.
And then my number 17. This one is a tough one, but it's down here at 17. Reunion, directed yet again by Jonathan Frakes. I'm just gonna say now, Ralph Sinensky, rest in peace, just passed recently. Was my favorite director of TOS, and I do think it's safe to say Jonathan Frakes is my favorite TNG director. I mean, he directed so many of the ones on my list, and outside of The Chase, I think every single episode he directed is on my list. I mean, he's just great. But Reunion, I thought maybe it would be higher because we love Kalar so much. But rewatching it, I still love it. Obviously, it's on my list. But I'll get to it a little bit later, I guess, in terms of that. But yeah, still really great episode. Fucking Worf, after the Kalar thing, takes off his emblem, goes fucking kills Duras. Duras has blood on him. Isn't that interesting? But anyway, just stabs the Batlith right into him because the Batlith is a sharp object. Anyway, he's not just hitting him like it's a hammer. But yeah, excellent episode. The patrons, number 17, 101 points. So we're getting the 100s now.
Woo.
This is crazy, but it's also Reunion.
Oh,
with so many episodes to choose from, it makes it that much less likely that any three of us would match on a single one.
Yeah.
So for us to match there is pretty cool. So yeah, that's their 17.
Yeah.
You're 17?
Yeah, Reunion is not on my list, but it's because I'll explain later why it's not. 17. One that I went back and rewatched and just had not a complete flip, but a more appreciation for was Half a Life. I cried when I rewatched Half a Life. Every time we see Lwaxana Troy, it's always who am I gonna fuck today? Who am I gonna try to fuck today? And we introduced this great actor, Tim, who played Timothy, and just making me care so much about him and his possible relationship. And the tragic ending of him choosing, no, I'm not going to be the one to start this revolution. I'm going to go home and die and be with my family. And her going down with him and all that, just 60 is so young. There's so much. Just like Swan is pouring her fucking heart out, just trying to convince this guy, don't fucking do it.
It's great.
Yeah, it got me.
I rewatched that one too. Debut of Michelle Forbes also.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's really great. And got to give it up for that guest actor. One of the best guest actor where it's not a guest of the week in the sense of it's a Lwaxana Troy episode. It's not his, but he's still so great.
Uh-huh.
And also great scene with Lwaxana Indiana in the transporter room, where they had that whole conversation. It's great.
Yeah. So that's next my number 16, right?
And we're only at 17. You're already tearing up.
Yeah, it's because Half-Life is fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
I love a good tragic love story.
It's great.
Yeah. 16 is Yesterday's Enterprise. One of those.
Okay. Yeah, pretty close on that.
Yeah, seconded all those things there. And another one of Picard, similar. He says similar things to Beverly. It's because it's you. I'm going to believe you about how this is. Because in that Picard's brain, this is how the world is. But for him to guide and say, this isn't right. And Picard putting full faith into Guinan and all that. It's okay, something's wrong here. And the balls, once again, to put all the focus on Tasha Yar and giving her a chance to do something else. And the whole thing with the Enterprise C and sending him back to save everything. It's a great idea. You think it's going to be a Mirror episode, but it's not. It's just something changed back in time that affected the future. It's a fucking banger. It's a fucking banger.
100%. So that was your 16?
Yeah.
All right. The Patron's 16, only 1 point more than the last one, 102 points. Redemption, the two-parter. So obviously, again, another Worf episode for them there. It kind of fits with Reunion, closing Worf's arc there.
Yeah.
My number 16. I wish I could put this higher. This is one that, this is my I'll die on this hill episode. Because a lot of them, it's okay, I can get why people don't like this one. Or I can get why people love this one, when I have disagreements. But this one will always baffle me. There are obviously people that like it, but Genesis is number 16, directed by Gates McFadden. Best directed episode of the whole series. And yeah, it does the episode itself, the story of it. Do I get emotional? Is it, are we tearing up over it? Is it no. Yeah. The story is just a horror story, which is awesome.
Okay.
The true horror story of TNG. and the makeup being incredible and all the things that we love about it. So it's not going to it's not my number one, obviously, but it's a perfect episode. Like it's the best directed episode of the show. So many different shots. A little bit of an unfair advantage. I literally watched her commentary from the Star Trek cruise a few years ago, so I got a little bit more insight on how she did things, and that just made me love it even more. She mentioned at one point where when the Barkley jump scare, she wanted him to come down from the ceiling like a spider, and they were like, "No, we can't do that." But all that stuff is great. The direction was great. Our pop and seeing her name, not being spoiled on that, all that was awesome. Yeah, love Genesis. I wish I could put it higher, but it's again one of those where I look at this list and I go, man, I love Genesis, but I think every episode after this makes me fucking feel. And it's like, as much as I love Genesis, it doesn't make me feel necessarily.
Yeah. Not on my list, but I'll add it to my honorable mentions.
And then my number 15, we've already talked about this one a little bit in our recap. I love it a lot. The Enemy, directed by David Carson. The stuff with Geordi is great. Congratulations. That stuff's all great, but it's the Worf story. That's what puts it up here for me. Not donating the blood and just his conversations, but specifically the one with Beverly, where she realizes, like she brings him in and he goes, oh, hey, so, we did this testing and everything, and it turns out, you're the only match. And Worf's just like, he's like, I'm not doing it. He doesn't say that, but he's like, I'm not doing it. And Beverly's like, oh, you don't want to donate to him? And he's like, no. And she's like didn't see that coming, and then she has to come to to terms with that, and argues with him over it. Just a great story, just the right choice to have him not do it, so he can grow as a character and have the Romulan die. It's just, again, what Ball's writing that, but
the Balls.
Also Tomalak that's his first episode.
Tomalak, yeah, not on my list, but if we made a list of best moments, that would be pretty up there. But the whole thing just didn't make my list. But
that's fair. I think what did it for me was just, it was so many scenes, him and Beverly, him and Riker, him and Picard, and then the Geordi stuff on top of that is I really did love it.
Okay.
So that was my number 15. So the patron's number 15, the Drumhead with 109 points.
Wow, okay, sweet. Love that.
Your 15?
My number 15 is Lower Decks.
Hey!
Yeah, Lower Decks. Thinking that season 7, everyone in their heads it's going to be whatever, and then one of my favorite ones of all time comes on through with these we've talked about wanting to see this, and they actually made the episode that we made up in our minds, and they did it, and did it so well, bringing Ensign Cito Jaxa from Cito Jaxa from the First Duty, and just her sacrifice at the end, going with the Cardassian, and then Picard's speech at the end, just the weight of what we do here. It's like sometimes it almost feels that we don't realize the weight of what we're doing, and then just that moment really settling in, like we're in the trenches here. It's not just all fine and dandy. Oh, we're going on an adventure. You can fucking die, and that moment, that speech really helped sell what we do here. Like, risk is our business. That what Kirk said. It felt so important to me, and the scene, and also all the scenes of Worf building her up and Picard tearing her down, and Picard personally choosing her to come on the ship. It's perfect.
Absolutely.
My number.
It'd be you still, right?
Yeah, my number 14. Yeah, we're getting all emotional here. 14 is Inheritance. I fucking love Inheritance. I don't care. It's like, oh, it's all about family. It's all about family. The whole we talk about moments that I think a moment can make or break, whether it's your favorite episode or not. And the ending scene with, try not to get emotional here, the ending scene with his mom and Data, that got me. It's getting me right now. But even then, we talk about being ahead of the characters, but I love when the characters are ahead of us, and it makes more sense than anyone that Data's ahead of us when he jumps with his elderly mother. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you know how to do this.
And then the reveal of her actually being an android. We get to see Nuni and Sung again, a different version.
Yeah, and what did she say? She's like, good heart comes from two parents who love each other, whatever. She's like, and that explains you.
Yeah.
And he's a fucking android. It's like, oh, so good.
Yeah. I'm
so
completely sober, by the way, too.
Oh,
God.
That was your 14?
That was my 14, yeah.
14 for the patrons with 117 total points. The Wounded,
Oh shit!
They were like the wounded more than either of us.
I should have, yeah. Should have bumped it up a little bit.
For me, okay, number 14, this is a big one because I talked to you briefly about this episode, but it's Ethics, directed by Chip Chalmers yet again. But the reason I decided, so I've actually been already ranking the entire series as we watch it.
Okay.
So that by the time we got to this point, I would already have it ranked. Now, I knew I wasn't just going to stick to that. I would, redo some stuff. But what made me actually decide, I need to actually rewatch these top ones, these top 30 or whatever, is because I looked at my list, and at the time, Ethics, I had not put on my season 7 episodes yet, but Ethics was number 10 through the first 6 seasons. And just from my memory of the episodes, I was like, okay, War from the Barrel, the suicide stuff. I was like, I really liked that, but number 10? I'm like, really? You know what I mean? I'm thinking it might not even make my list. I'm like, I gotta rewatch these. I rewatched Ethics, dude. Holy shit. It is. Like, yeah, I get the meme with War from the Barrel. I get it. But it's like, there are, again, what do I want from Star Trek? Those scenes that are just conversations about how is this plot affecting us. And Jonathan Frakes, I'm kind of convinced, like, his best scene in the entire show is when he goes in to do that ritual and tells Worf he's not going to do it. And just him laying it out to him about why he's not and why Worf's wrong and how he's like, you should be asking Alexander, but you're a fucking coward, and like all this stuff. Just the tough love that he's giving Worf. And it's kind of like The Enemy, but to the next level. And just all that is great. And then, dude, for how much shit, maybe I'll get emotional now, but for how much shit, everyone gives Alexander, and like, I don't like him. Like, I mean, not that I hate him, but it's like, he's not a character I like. But when he is in the hallway and like Beverly comes out and her hair's all messy, and she's like, I'm sorry, like he's gone. And he's like, I want to see him. And they walk in and he sees him dead, and then Alexander just starts fucking crying. And it's not like some cringe, it's not battle lines, like, ah. And he just like covers his face and starts like breaking down, and Deanna hugs him. And like, yeah, Worf comes back to life like 2 seconds later, but they went so far to like make me bite on that. It's like the one character death falsy. I don't think I'll ever believe one as close as that again. Like, they spend so long doing the surgery, and she's like, and Ogawa's like doing the cortisol or whatever thing to bring him back. She's like, again, and like nothing's happening. And then she calls it, smacks the table.
When Beverly smacks the table.
Yeah, and it just like, and then that moment with Alexander just like got me. I teared up watching it. For all the shit Alexander's like, I'm glad he's in the show for that one moment. Like that moment of him crying, like his fucking mother already died. His dad sent him away. He just came back a few episodes ago, and now his dad dies. But I love that they have the one scene before the surgery where Worf decides he's not going to do the suicide ritual. And he's like, I just want you to know, if I die, like, it's not by my own hand. And it's like, God, I love this show. It's like, it's so good.
Yeah, I wish I would have rewatched that one, because I forgot that the surgery was in that episode. For some reason, I thought it was a different one. But the main thing I remember about Ethics was the Riker speech to him and how great that was. I forgot that the surgery was.
It's also when he asks Deanna about being the godmother.
Being the godmother,
And like so many people that hate on the season 7 stuff with Worf and Deanna, it's like the most telegraphed relationship throughout the entire show. Like they have these moments together. And I get it, just because it's a female and a male doesn't mean they have to be romantic just because they have good scenes. But genuinely, like, they're loving, chemistry scenes, and that's one of them. And she's like, I would be honored, and holds his hand and then leaves. I mean, just so good. So anyway, my point was, I thought, this might not even end up being on my list. No, it's still here at number 14, really fucking high. It's really good.
Now I want to bump it
up. And then so that was the first one I said. So
yeah,
my number 13, two-parter, Chain of Command.
Okay.
Part 1 directed by Robert Scheer, yet again. Part 2 directed by Les Landau. And this was one that, again, like Quality of Life, at the time watching it, I was like, Chain of Command might be my favorite episode of the whole show. It's really good. I think it is the best two-parter, absolutely. But, again, it is perfect in what it does. Nothing about it is, like, hits me. Like, I put it above Ethics because I do think it's better. But, like, how I just talked about Ethics, like, there's nothing in Chain of Command that hits me like that. It's the perfect example of, do an episode that's basically like a formula, but perfect it. And that's Chain of Command. Like, it has all of the Star Trek stuff in it. Mm-hmm. The Cardassian torture, the Admiral coming aboard. Is Jellicoe an Admiral, or is he just another captain?
I think it was just a captain.
But like, Jellicoe's great, all this stuff. It gives Deanna her uniform. The moment with Deanna where Riker's like, he's really sure of himself. No, he's not. Just like great moments sprinkled all throughout.
Fuck yeah.
Number 13 for the patrons. 120 total points, The Defector. So a little bit higher than you had it for them, and I don't know if I said it or not, honestly, for myself. But that was their number 13.
Well, my number 13, it's all about family. Family is my number 13. I just couldn't believe that what I was watching. I'm like, there's no way. And Ronald Moore again. I'm like, oh, he's back. It's the same thing. That's the bond. It's like, grief, trauma. Let's fucking go. I mean, the stuff with Worf's parents. It was all right. I mean, I mainly.
It's fine.
It's good. I'm mainly here for the stuff on Earth in France at the chateau and all that. It was wonderful. Love Robert. I love his fucking all that, and then them literally fighting in the field together, and Picard finally breaking down everything he had to do. And at the end, when they hug, they go say goodbye, and then Robert finally breaks, but when he's not looking, and then comes back up, and they leave, and Robert and his wife look out the window, and before he's like, oh, you're filling his head with ball, and he's like, let him dream, and he's looking up, a shooting star, but it's probably the Enterprise leaving. It's like, oh, that's good. It's good stuff.
That's all great stuff. Didn't make my list, and you can blame Jack Crusher.
Yeah, when an episode is so good, I forget all the stuff that's just, yeah.
Exactly. But for me, it's the same thing with Disaster, where I really like Disaster, but it's just that one subplot. Same thing with Family, where it's like, I just don't like the Jack Crusher thing. But great episode, and if anyone ever wanted to know what's the difference between, no, we don't want just nothing to happen, we just want character stuff, it's Family. Like, that's the episode we're talking about, where everything is, Picard just went through the little cutest story. Like, that is an absolute plot, but it's how does it affect Picard? We see in that episode.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yep. I still got a snake.
Yeah, that was number 13, right?
Number 13, yeah. My number 12, your favorite episode of all time. It's Darmok. I fucking love Darmok. I love the whole idea of the risk that this alien species is willing to do to just try to break common ground and do that, and gave his life in search of friendship, in search of seeking out new life, their own Enterprise version, and what they were willing to do. And then Picard just fucking, when he comes back on the bridge, just like not talking to anyone, and just raises up the knife and he like keeps the knife as on his wall. Just good stuff.
And the debut of Picard's jacket, most importantly.
Yeah, the jacket. Yeah, yeah. And the fire scene when he's telling them the story, and the guy's just down there watching them. Don't know if he understands or not, but they're bonding over it, and they don't even speak each other's language yet. Just good stuff.
Yeah, it's funny because we agree with each other 90+% of the time about everything, and I don't think there was ever a moment where we were more on different pages of an episode where the campfire, I would say campfire, but the fire scene happens, and Picard, they tell the whole story and everything. It's this nice long scene, and then it ends, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I am not into this at all. And I look over at you, and I'm like, oh yeah, and you're like, that was fucking great. And I'm like, okay, he likes it. But obviously everyone agrees with you on that one. But I don't hate it. I don't think it's a bad episode. But yeah, that's funny. You liked it more than the patrons, though, apparently.
Yeah.
But that's because there's a whole bunch at the top of their list that's not even on ours. That's why. But
yeah.
That was your number 12?
12, yeah.
The patrons' number 12 at 132 points is Q-Who. Not on my list. I get it. Great episode. Gave us a huge bump when it went up on YouTube, so thank you, Q-Who. But
not on my list either.
Yeah. Number 12 for me. What do I have? Number 12 for me. The Bonding.
It didn't make top 10, but it's on the list. It's on the list. Okay.
I love. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, I love The Bonding. The debut of the writing goat.
Ronald
Moore, excellent. I rewatched it, and I liked it even more on the rewatch. I already mentioned, I forgot about Wesley's scene with Picard, about how he was mad at him about his dad because Picard's the one who told him about it. Just everything in that episode is so great. When Worf tells Deanna about wanting to do the ritual, the bonding ritual, and all of that. I mean, just not a bad scene. Honestly, the Riker Data 10 forward scene might be my favorite scene in the show. I mean, just talking about, why do people ask that about why I knew her? He's like, don't I? And he's like, well, what about Tasha? Bringing up Tasha, of course. And he's like, you didn't feel the same. And he's like, you're right, but shouldn't I? And he's like, you know the quote. And
my favorite is when Data's when Data's like, what does Riker say? Well, you just asked me.
Yeah, he's like, did you know her? Why do you ask? You just asked me.
You just asked me. He's like, no, why do you ask the question?
Yeah. And when Rick Colby, director, just tied up on their faces, but it makes it work, and Riker drinking.
Yeah, that drink just...
And it's just, again, that reality of this is the Enterprise, you know? And
Yeah. We spent some time together. Not very well. Not very well, yeah.
Yeah.
How well do you know her? Oh, we spent some time together. Data's just not very well.
Yeah. And then, you know, and again, we did rag a little bit on the Mother Alien thing, but rewatching it, it's not oh no the plot because it ties directly into Jeremy.
Serves
Yeah, it
the
serves
story.
serves the story.
Serves the story.
Serves the characters.
Serves
yeah.
the characters, yes.
So, yeah, that's all great.
I'm sure I'll talk about that one.
And then also, one of my favorite scenes, you know, Wesley talking about Jack Crusher. I'm starting to forget what he looks like in Beverly. Sometimes I can't get his face out of my mind.
Two different sides.
Yeah, and like, you know, not bawling, crying, just eyes red and wet, you know, just, and then they hug.
And just Wesley's starting to break down. She's like, okay, I need to go be a mom now. And,
yeah, put it away. God, so good.
Oh God. I'm gonna be fucking bawling when this is over.
Whose idea was this to watch the show? It was yours.
It was
Fuck you. All right.
But imagine never watching it.
Yeah, I know. Number 11, my favorite guest character in the entire series, The Emissary, directed by Cliff Bole, Kalar's first episode. So now I can talk about why Reunion wasn't higher, and it's because after watching both of these, The Emissary is just so good. And not that Kalar is sidelined or minimized in Reunion, but it's not her episode. Like, I'm really glad she's there, and it's awesome, and I'm glad her and Worf kind of made up / got together before she died. But she's there to further the plot, and there to be like, here, Worf, now you have a son. Okay, you love me, I love you, now I'm dead. Raise your son. And that's not my favorite.
Yeah.
You know, and as much as I still love that episode, but here, The Emissary, she just comes in, and just is the most kick-ass, you know, person. Being a half Klingon, half human female is just like, I wish we could see that again, because like Susie Plaxton's just charm and her charisma, that whole episode, she's joking around with Deanna, and her and Deanna have a number of great scenes. You know, she breaks the table and Deanna comes in, and you know, they're talking, and just so many great lines from her. And then she's with Worf and the holodeck, they have sex, you know, Klingon sex, and then, you know, she's like, I'm not going to marry you. And he's like, that is a human attitude. I am human.
I am human.
It's just so great. And the best part is that it's in season 2. Like, and what I mean by that is, like, the show's not even, like, itself yet.
Yeah.
And she comes in, not even in the main cast, and it's like she knew what the show should be. Her and the writer. Her and the writers. Like she knew, you know, she was like, and she was so good. So, yeah, love Kalar, R.I.P.
Yeah, unfortunately, not on my list, but I'll get to explain why.
Okay. But yeah, love that one. So then number 11 for the patrons. Cause and Effect. 134 points.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Not on my list. I get it. I understand it, but we've said our piece. My number 11, Ship in a Bottle. One of the best reveals. We talk about moments. Like, that's a moment I'm never going to forget, because holy fuck, we got fucking worked. I totally thought that somehow Moriarty figured out some way to get off the holodeck, but the whole thing's a fucking work inside the holodeck. Genius. Wonderful. And just the idea of continuing a story from season 2 and just having a nice little ending with them where they found their own way to figure it out. Barkley was fucking there. It was a blast. But when I talk about picking episodes, as top episodes, I always think about moments that I'll never forget when it's revealed to me. And the reveal that they're in the holodeck was just one of the coolest fucking reveals ever, because that doesn't happen too often as an adult. And when you can have that emotion where you get to forget to be a kid and be worked and go on the emotional ride, it's wonderful.
Absolutely. And now we're getting into our top 10s. Top 10s. So if we hadn't have decided to extend the list and we had just kept it at top 10, these would be our lists.
Which is crazy to me. Oh my God, I couldn't even imagine. Oh boy, now rethinking the whole thing. My number 10 is, I guess, the whole thing of Chain of Command. We've already talked about Chain of Command, but yeah, I love Jellicoe. I love everything with Picard being tortured, the masterclass acting between him and our buddy from Star Trek 6.
David Warner,
yep. And then there are 4 lights, and then the emotional scene, not the emotion, but the scene with Troy at the end where I actually did see 5 lights, and then and then Picard just going, nah, fuck you. I know I'm safe now. There are 4 lights, get me out of here. And yeah, just Picard just not wanting to give in and him dressing him down. You called me Picard in that whole scene. It's like, I got your fucking number, bitch. It's like, Oh, you can't, bro. No. Yeah.
Yeah, and just the fact that if they had been 4 hours later to save him, he would have broken down.
Would
and
have been
said
done. Yeah. They don't make him Superman. It was just
Yeah.
impeccable timing and just important timing. And yeah, just the scenes are just Picard laying on the ground, and then David Warner's like talking to his son or whatever, and all
I
that.
think it's his daughter, right? The little girl.
Yeah, his daughter. Yeah, his daughter. I couldn't remember.
They're eating some gross Kardashian food.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and David Warner's just telling stories about growing up in the Kardashian homeworld and all that, or the mission that they, and of course everything with Jellicoe too, changing everything up, dressing down Riker and all that. The switches. You got to talk about the Troy. I mean, the whole thing is great, man.
Oh yeah, and Riker's like, I don't think you're a very good captain. And he's like, I don't think you're a very good first officer, but we got to work together. Yeah, that's great.
We got to do what we got to do. Yep, we got to do the job.
So that was your number 10.
Number 10.
All right, the Patrons number 10 with 136 points. These are all really close here. The Offspring
Wow,
made their top 10.
Sweet, good for them.
My number 10, Measure of a Man. Great episode.
Wonderful.
This was the one, again, I mean, this is not just our opinion. This is a widespread opinion, but, that first one where in season 2 you're like, oh, this show can be, really amazing. I rewatched this one, holds up excellently. The one thing I will say is, I don't say this a lot about media, but I do think the extended episode is actually even better. The only thing about it is they make Maddox just a straight up heel in the extended, when he comes to the birthday party. but I love that scene so much, even though it makes him the heel. But yeah, him coming in and then Worf, stepping up to defend Data, and kind of all of them, that whole camaraderie around Data, it builds on that. So even though it makes Maddox a little bit worse of a character, and I'm glad they cut it out for that reason, I still think that's great. And then the giving the Sherlock pipe to Geordi. Data giving it to Geordi, that getting cut out sucks. But talking about the episode as it is, the actual episode, it's perfect. I mean, it's excellent. Riker getting to be the lawyer against Data, his strings have been cut. Just like epic, even though his argument's not that great. But he does his best with it.
And I love the moment where like Riker's getting excited, because Riker's a winner. He loves to win. And he's starting to build his argument, and he goes, fuck. Just that, what am I doing?
Yeah.
It's like, those little moments.
Yeah, and then Data pulling out the Tasha hologram, and then they ask him about it, and obviously everything with Picard. I mean, just. But I also love the woman who's the judge or whatever at the beginning. Still nice to know you're a pompous ass and sexy as hell. And Picard's just like,
all right,
yeah, okay,
okay.
And also Nakamura gets introduced in that episode, who shows up a bunch throughout the series. Admiral Nakamura.
Yeah.
That was my number 10. My number 9, this one was, I always loved it, but going back and rewatching it, I was like, oh, wow, no, this is one of my favorite episodes. Future Imperfect, directed by Les Landau, the Frakes episode. Yes, I understand the meme, the little kid, the alien at the end, costume, whatever, but you talked about the first time reactions with Ship in a Bottle. That was Future Imperfect for me, where we get revealed, oh no, you're actually in a Romulan holodeck, and it's the only time we see Tomalak not on the view screen. Also, the last time he even, I guess it died. Also, the last time he even shows up until the finale, and it's not really him; it's fake, but he's there. And then it's like, but wait, that's not even what's going on. Then you get the second twist that it's the kid. Loved all of that. Kind of a little bit does the same thing as All Good Things, but in my opinion, even a little bit better in terms of going into that future, 16 years in the future. Riker's the captain. They all have older makeup on. Geordi doesn't have his visor. They have the emblems instead of the pips. I mean, everything about it is like really great, and then you learn it's fake, of course, but the minuet reveal, it has to be the deepest cut to use, not only just to throw in the episode, but as a reveal. Like, you have to know who Minuet is. Like, yes, Frakes does just explain it through dialogue, but to catch it right away, like, when he first says the name, and he's asking Troy about his wife, and he's like, who's the mother? And she's like, she died 2 years ago. And Frakes just, covers his face. He's like, are you, because he's like, are you kidding me? It's like, I had a wife and a kid, and now she's dead. I don't even get to know her. And he's like, Angel, what's her name? And she was like, Min. And I remember being like, Min? Like Minuet? And then when she pops up on screen, I'm like, it is fucking Minuet! And that's what gives it away. And I missed this the first time, but then when he's talking to Tomalak after they reveal it's the Romulan holodeck, he's like, she's not a real person, that was your mistake. And Tomalak's like, no, you still have feelings for her, like you very much still care about her, kind of hinting that Riker is still going back to that program, still seeing Minuet in the holodeck. Just like a little thing of that's why this alien kid thought that would be someone who would be his wife, because
Okay.
it's not just a memory. Like, it's someone he's still going to that program probably.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Damn, that's another one I should put on my list, but it's not. I guess in terms of, I guess we kind of knew that we were going to go back to, like when he's, when everyone's in the future. It's one of those where, okay, I know
We have to go back.
we have to go back.
Yeah.
But with Ship in a Bottle, it was just that different kind of reveal, but one of those where it's like I never would have expected it. Like, with that one, I kind of knew. Okay, I don't know how, but I know we have to go back to normal at some point. But the double reveal,
the
double
level,
reveal, that yeah.
But but really love that one. And rewatching it, it's just so much fun. And there's a lot of great scenes I haven't even gotten to yet. Like the Picard being revealed to be on the Romulan ship as an admiral, and his old person makeup is actually way better than in All Good Things. And I know it's a different amount of time, but his makeup's really good and all that. So that was directed by Les Landau, by the way. The Patrons, number 9. 149 points. Family in their top 10.
Really?
Makes sense.
Yeah, good for you guys.
Yeah, that's a fan favorite. Yeah.
Good for you guys. My number 9, Remember Me. One of my our all-time favorite reactions of Beverly Crusher figuring this out. One of the best reveals when the blue storm's going on and the silhouette of Wesley comes into the frame and we're like, oh, what's going on? And just the bait and switch where Beverly's old mentor comes on board and we think, oh, we're going to be hanging around this guy the entire time. He's just fucking gone out of the episode immediately. And on a rewatch, knowing everything, it's we know Beverly's in there because it's revealed about halfway through. Okay,
Yeah.
Beverly's in the universe, but
With that incredible Cliff Bowl shot of Wesley coming in
yes,
front of the thing.
exactly, yeah. But still, watching Beverly, it was still entertaining to watch Beverly figure it out, despite us knowing. Just her having this conversation with the computer, and funny conversations with the computer. Like, oh, what's the range of the cloud? 175, blah, blah. What's the range of the universe? 175, blah, blah. Huh, and figuring that out. Oh, take me to deck 36 or get me as close to engineering as possible. And takes her to deck 36 and the clouds following her. She's like fucking running. Shit! The fucking Traveler showing up. They were talking about, like, is the Traveler going to show up? And he actually does.
They did the same thing as in Journey's End, where they bring him up first, in case you don't know who he is.
In case you don't know.
And then he shows up.
And then he shows up.
Yeah.
And I rewatched the episode, and one of my favorite laugh-out-loud moments where Picard's asking the Traveler, is she alive? And the Traveler says, as long as she believes she's alive, she's alive. And it cuts to Riker. What the hell does that mean?
Also, a great moment when Beverly goes to the chief, because that's where she got the guy.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? I was just standing here talking to him. He's like, I said, can I help you? You said, thank you. And I said, my pleasure, or something. Great stuff.
And the fact that none of those people were real. It was all just, like, created.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with the exact knowledge of what they knew at that moment, but they were all acting with what they know. But as soon as the universe starts collapsing, they still act with what they know.
That's one of the best parts, is that they still, the whole time they act, it's normal, even when it comes down to just Picard and her. It's such a nice little touch that makes it great.
We've never needed anyone else.
You think it's perfectly normal, don't you?
And then the love story tease again. There's something I've always wanted to tell you, Jean-Luc. He's gone, and then I will remember you.
Yeah. That was your number...
That was my number 9.
Okay, your number 8?
My number 8. The Best of Both Worlds, but mainly part 1. I love when we dived a little deeper into Riker. I love that young, hot-headed, commander that comes on board. I'm coming for your job, motherfucker. And then Riker be like, I don't know if I'm ready for the big chair. And the one admiral's like, oh, Riker, eventually he's got to sit down and all that. That whole conversation, what's leaving this behind? What's doing this? Oh shit, it's the Borg. Gets captured, and it leaves no question, one of the best moments of all time of Star Trek. Of the guy who's like unsure, Riker's unsure what to do, and panning up to Riker, Mr. Warfire. I mean, we meme on it all the time, but him making that choice is still one of the fucking coolest things ever, in my opinion. And then the first ever cliffhanger is unsuspected. One of my favorite reaction moments. We were just, are you fucking kidding me? In a good way. Great stuff.
Yeah, I think, first of all, I'm shocked that it's that high on your list.
Mainly because of the Riker stuff.
It's a great episode. The two-parter. It's great. For me, I think the big disconnect was just not seeing that ending the same way. In terms of the cliffhanger, I get it. I get why that would have been insane in 91 or whatever that was, 90, whatever. But in terms of, I kind of looked at it as, Riker's making not the safe choice. Like obviously that's a really tough choice, killing Picard, but it felt like he was making the Starfleet choice. Like it felt like it was like, what would you do if someone on your crew was taken over on an enemy ship? Correct answer, you blow it up. And it's like, to me, if it's Picard or if it's Kirk or if it's any great Starfleet captain, they're going to go try to save them. They'll risk everything to try to save them. Now, I know that doesn't really make sense in a Starfleet way. Why would you risk your entire crew to save this one person? But that's how it hit me when I first watched it. I've never been able to get over that disconnect. Like,
Okay.
even after people explained it to me, like, no, it's supposed to be him like taking that big action that he couldn't do before. And I can see that, but it still just feels like that's what every other Starfleet captain would do, but not the ones we love. Like Picard wouldn't do that if Riker was the one taken by the Borg. He wouldn't say Mr. Worf fire. Kirk wouldn't say, Spock fire or whatever, like whoever he would say to fire. Like that's just my opinion. So I've never been able to get over that disconnect of it. Great episode though. I mean, it is great, and obviously in terms of historic and everything, it's it's a huge moment for Star Trek. So
Yeah, but also it's tough because it depends on how I feel. But because that would be what our captain would do. That would be like our main character, but not Riker. And Riker making that choice to be in order to try to save more people. It's like, all right, I got to do what I got to do.
yeah,
I kind of like it because Picard would be the one to do the fucking crazy blah blah blah. But Riker, as much as I clown on Riker for doing the being the bully choice, like I don't know,
it makes sense for him.
it makes sense for him, and
Yeah.
I like him doing it, especially with they set it up in the beginning with the indecision of doing something.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna stand there, Will Riker? Like, do something. And him,
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. And also the shot of the other commander, like looking up at him, like,
Yeah, Shelby, other name was?
yeah, Shelby, like looking up at him, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And the entire time she's been, I'm here to do this, but
Yeah.
her looking up at him, like, what are you gonna do? And then him just not even fucking looking at her. Ooh, that gets me.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good, yeah. That was your number 8?
that was my number.
All right, the Patrons number 8. 153 points, all good things.
Yeah. Okay.
Good finale.
Good finale.
Great finale.
Great finale. It's
Not on my list.
I understand.
Yeah,
I
I
understand.
get it.
I get it. I understand. Not on my list. Not on my list.
My number 8 is The Defector, directed once again by Robert Shearer.
Yeah.
We talked about this a lot already.
We did.
But great episode, and I also love the moment where he talks to Data in 10 Forward, and then Data takes him to the holodeck to show him the home world, and then it fades to the regular holodeck, and he's like, this is my home now. Just great stuff. But yeah, we've talked about that episode a lot. So
Yeah.
The Defector is like a perfect example of like not my type of, if I was going to write a Star Trek episode, like a Romulan defector, that's not really something that would come to my mind as a topic I would want to explore.
Yeah.
But it's executed so perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And then my number 7, the best Q episode and the best Picard episode, Tapestry, directed by Les Landau.
7. Wow.
Great, just great. Only reason it's not, I'm going to say this for everyone moving forward. Only reason it's not higher is because I love all these other ones more. But there is nothing I would take away from Tapestry.
Yeah.
It is a perfect episode. Redemption 2 is the end of Worf's arc. Tapestry, in my opinion, is the end of Picard's arc. I've said that a bunch before, and I loved it. And it's just, it's one of those I really don't even have much to like go into. It's just great. It's A Christmas Carol, Picard, not the movie, but related to him, and it's just done so well. It's Q in his top form and peak form, being jokey but also being serious, kind of being an op but also being on Picard's side. I mean, it's just the best. And also seeing Picard. Picard is the only one who has ever looked good in those god-awful red old uniforms. And Shooter McGavin looked pretty good in it, too. But,
Those ones were much cooler than the ones from the TOS movies. Like,
are they different?
they're not the exact same. They're slightly different. I mean, they're student
I'd have to
uniforms.
rewatch, I guess, to know. But
I mean, they still look cooler.
they're in that vein.
I mean, if you don't know, my phone screen background is
nice.
Picard being stabbed. They're slightly different.
Yeah. So that was my number 7. Number 7 for the patrons, 198 points, big jump there. Chain of Command,
Okay.
the 2-parter.
That
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
And that was on our list. So
It was. My number 7 is The Measure of a Man. The one of the most important episodes of TNG, in my opinion. So many great moments, and with the extended, I agree. I would have liked to see the pipe, and then just that Worf just making that, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass. Like, if no one stopped him, was he just gonna go fucking kick his ass?
Just kill him.
Yeah, and just Picard going to bat for Data, and the whole thing of what we do here. What's the whole mission? I mean, talk about moments, like seek out new life. Well, there it sits, and his final fuck you. You wanted a chance to make law. Here it is. Make it a good one. I'm fucking leaving.
Yeah.
Oh, and then, yeah, Riker shutting Data down, and then both the arguments and all that. Bruce Maddox being a complete dick. The only thing that would knock it down a peg is Bruce Maddox saying he's incredible, and then the woman going, "Oh, you didn't say it." It's like,
Yeah.
didn't need it.
We know.
Yep, didn't need it.
Also, can't forget the Picard. Do you?
Do you?
Whoa.
Yeah, just absolutely fucking cooked. And yeah, and Guinan talking to Picard in 10 Forward, like, oh, you're talking about Slate, an entire race of Datas, and the idea of like exploiting a race for the benefit of Starfleet. It's like, no. We're not doing that. It's like consciousness, even the smallest degree. It's like, and just him getting in Bruce's face, like, and
Yeah.
just great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, that was your number
7. That was my number 7, and the complete opposite of Mr. Warfire, my number 6 is Iborg.
Hey,
I fucking love Iborg, and I've always talked about when something happens or we're at the beginning, I'm like, yeah, fuck these fucking things, kill them, and Picard is able to convince me, and Geordi's able to convince me, and we learned about Hugh, and like, oh, don't take that option. We can be better, and we can start something here. Something can change, and just that little glimpse of the ending of is Hugh there. Of course, is all ruined by dissent. But for a standalone episode, Iborg, yeah, I absolutely love getting to know Hugh. Picard trying to dress him down, like, oh, this is Locutus, and the growth from Hugh, and then also Beverly being the one. No, wait, what are we doing here? And Picard being like, and then being able to switch, especially Picard, who's seen the worst of the Borg, and still being virtuous and having hope that we can, be better and start change. It's great.
Yeah, no, 100%. You said that was 6?
That was 6, yeah.
The Patron's number 6, 206 points, so we're now in the 200s. The Inner Light is number 6. I get it.
It was on my list.
It was on your list.
It's on my list.
It's on your list.
Yeah, the emotional stuff at the end is still, like, that gets me. Just Picard holding that flute and then playing as the ship floats out into space. Not playing his usual French song, but playing good stuff.
And my number 6 is directed by LeVar Burton. It's Second Chances.
Really? That high for you?
Yeah,
Really?
Second Chances.
I didn't expect it to be that high for you. Wow.
Yeah, I love
Really?
Second Chances. How fitting that in an episode with 2 Rikers, Deanna Troi becomes my favorite character of the show.
That's the one that made her your favorite.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I mean, I have favorite character for, different seasons.
Okay.
But season 6 and 7 is absolutely Deanna. And in Second Chances is her best episode, in my opinion, of season 6 for sure. Overall, I mean, maybe, Dark Page is up there in terms of her performance and everything.
What about the Face of the Enemy? one?
Face of the Enemy, is a good one. But in terms of what Deanna is and like why she's such a great character and why I'm so now would love to see more Betazoids or even specifically half Betazoids, because a full Betazoid, full telepath, like, that's a lot.
Yeah,
But just a half Betazoid an empath character.
Mhm.
I mean, she's so good. And, this, more than any other episode of the show, is to me like, these actors, it's like, it's like, you just want to, it's like, do they understand? It's like, I watched that episode, and I've rewatched it, and it's like, it sounds silly because it's just like a 90s Star Trek show. I mean, I'm not trying to minimize Star Trek, but it's like, I would put up Marina Sirtis' performance in that episode against most acting performances I've ever seen. Like the scene with her in William Riker. No, I'm sorry. She does have a good scene with him, but with Thomas Riker at the table after Thomas Riker sends her on the scavenger hunt, and then she meets him at the table, he gives her the gift, and they're sitting there talking, and he's talking about how he would look up at the moon when he was stuck on the planet, and she would look up at the moon thinking that it's Will Riker, but maybe it actually was Thomas Riker, the one who didn't fucking dump her like an idiot. And, the way she's just like almost crying but not, and it's just like, you're such a good fucking actor. It's like, what? And it's like all the characters in these show, all the actors in this show. Like I understand, Picard is, obviously Patrick Stewart, and like I'm not trying to say none of these actors ever did anything or anything. They did, but it's like the fact that these are all just amazing performances that we see, and none of them, like for basically almost all of them, this is their big thing. It's like sometimes shocking to me. Not that Star Trek TNG isn't a big thing, but it's just like you're all so good. It's like how is this not like how did people in Hollywood not see this and go like we need to book this person and everything? And that's how I feel about Marina Sirtis in this episode, and it's just like so incredible, and then just on top of that, you have the two Rikers, and you have LeVar's direction, and you have the lore, and you have all of that, that makes it great.
And don't forget the balls to not kill one of them.
Yes, the whole time you're thinking, well, you got to get rid of Thomas Riker. He can't survive. Nope, not this time.
He fucking lives.
Not this
God
time.
damn it.
My only thing that keeps this out of, because it could be higher, Alex. I'm serious. I was debating.
I didn't realize you liked this one so much.
It could. I mean, like, it was on my list. I mean, I know it was number 1 for you in season 6, but like it was on my list. But I mean, what really, the only thing that I would say knock it is the fact that her and Thomas don't break up, and just because of the way that TV is and whatever, we just never see him again in this show. And not only that, but she doesn't even like mention it, and it's like, you guys said you didn't break up. It's like, so that's like the one thing that's like, that's but that's not this episode's fault.
Yeah.
They didn't make the rest of the episodes yet. But it would have been awesome or hilarious to have a little bit of a thread of a Thomas Riker thread in season 7 and some I loved the Worf thing, but like some tension with Will Riker or something like that. But I mentioned arcs earlier. I also, Deanna stuff aside, I also think this is kind of the completion of Will's arc in a way of like literally having to come to terms and meet his old self. And both of them having to accept each other, of like they hate each other, and he's like, you're everything I swore I wouldn't be, you were everything that was wrong with me in the past, and they have to come together. That's kind of like the completion of his arc in a way. And yeah, excellent, perfect episode. Plus LeVar Burton directing.
LeVar Burton, yeah,
it's like it's great.
One and done. Like, I made my masterpiece. I'm out.
But I talk about biting on falsies, him on the bridge, like, and you think he's going to die, so tense. So, because you believe it, that he could die. And then people saying that they were contemplating killing Will Riker or getting him off the show. We didn't know that at the time watching it, but you could feel it in that scene. It's like, there's real tension here if someone might die. Really good.
Yeah, it's fucking really good.
That was my number 6. So my number 5, top 5. All right, top 5. Oh. This portion right here for us, we're going another hour. Top 5. These 5 episodes, all in my opinion, are all perfect. I don't want to say the order doesn't matter; it does, but it really just, these are all such different episodes, and it just depends on what do I want at that moment. At the time, I said this was my favorite episode up to that point, but Remember Me is number 5, directed by Cliff Bole. It's the best Beverly Crusher episode, and the reason it's number 5 and not number 1 through 4 is that I love the episode, but it is the best example of the type of man trap type episode from TOS. It's the best Twilight Zone type episode. Like, it's the best just do a weird sci-fi story with a character that I love, and that's Remember Me. That's the best version of it. It's one of my favorite characters in one of my favorite sci-fi stories. That's just a one-off, has no consequences. It's almost as if it didn't happen to everyone else. And Gates McFadden is excellent. And they bring back the Traveler as a meme. It's, and that's hilarious. At the end, when Beverly comes back, the Traveler looks like he just came on the, over the console. But my favorite part has to be when she walks in and it's just her and Picard, and she does her whole monologue about, and she's like, Deanna Troi, counselor, loves chocolate. Riker, he's great at poker. And he's like, Data would give anything to be human, doing this whole thing. And yeah, it's a little bit theatrical. It's a little bit like, reminds you of, I forget what they call that, like the transatlantic or whatever they call that older type of acting where it's more like, I don't want to say not realistic, but like the Wizard of Oz or something where it's a little bit more fantastical in the way she's delivering it. But I love it. Like, I love that kind of acting. I love the Wizard of Oz. And that's all great. But there's also a bunch of great moments. You brought up how she tells Picard's like, okay, we'll figure it out. And then she's about to leave. And then she turns and she's like, please go back to the starbase. I know it's just me that you have to go on, but please, just my word. And he's like, your word has always been enough. And he's like, Riker, take us back to starbase. And it's not even the real Picard, but it's like, but it's so great.
But it might as well will be.
Yeah.
Same thing with Whispers. It might as well be O'Brien.
Yeah, exactly.
Exact copy. But also, great moments because people that we don't know are disappearing. It's like we went from 1,000 to 800 to 700, but none of the main cast is gone. And when the first reveal of Worf being gone, and then we'll have Worf, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's just, Worf? big guy. The Klingon?
Yeah. She's like, never cracks a smile.
Never
The Klingon! Look, she's like, are you kidding me?
And then the falsy of you think Wes is gone, but then he's there. And then they're like, okay, we got to go. Wait. And then he's gone.
Yeah.
Ah!
Also, the look in her eyes of a little bit of a Shutter Island or something. Look in her eyes when she's like, Wes, we got to figure this out. And he's like, just looking at her, and she's like, you don't believe me. Just like the realization in her eyes, like, you don't believe me. And he's like, oh, well, no. But he's like, I'll do what you want, though. And then he disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Patrons number 5. 236 points. Tapestry is their number 5. Makes sense. Great episode.
Nice.
Your number 5?
My number 5. You might talk about this one, but I doubt it. It's Lessons.
Not on my list.
Thought about it, no. Oh, no. I fucking love Lessons. I love Nella Darren, right?
Mm-hmm.
I keep fucking that up. Nella Darren, Picard, that whole relationship, just adding on to the inner lights. It's all just wonderful moments with them. They introduce a plot, and the plot is directly involved with the story, and it could take away a character that we've just fell in love with. So many beautiful moments of them playing the flute in that Jeffrey's tube. Just Picard opening up and when he thinks that she's dead, closes the box. One of my favorite direction shots of all time.
Robert Weimer.
Was that Robert Weimer?
Yeah.
Oh God, underrated. Just a perfect episode. No notes. I can go scene by scene, but just I love a good love story. I love a good almost tragic love story. Tragic in the end of you're not going to be here for every episode. We got to do stuff, and like, we could go on short leave, and just that bartering, because I've done the same thing in long distance. Where it's like, we can do this, we can do that, and just it's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. It just breaks my heart, but I love it so much.
And what a great way to avoid the plot. Like a plot comes in, but it's directly, furthers what we've already been seeing,
and it's going to take away someone that we fell in love with, or possibly take away. And the falsy. It looks like some more people are coming on the holodeck. Coming up the transporter.
Yeah.
And then, like, Picard's, like, looking, and other people are walking. It's like, it goes to leave. It's like, and then just his face, his fucking face, man, when he sees her, just, and then, like, she doesn't even stop.
She walks past him.
Yeah, walks past him, just that. Okay. Yeah, just, wonderful.
Great.
Oh, good stuff. And also even the Riker stuff of just, she's kind of making me uncomfortable. I have to make these requests. Can we not do that? And then Picard's all happy in other scenes. Hey, want to go fence? My partner canceled. And like pokes him in the stomach.
Yeah.
And Riker just, it's a perfect episode, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect.
Number 4?
Oh, yeah. Oh. My number 4 is Tapestry. Same thing with Picard. I love anything with that guy's trauma and grief, and just I feel like we've talked about this episode so much lately, especially with our top 10 of season 7. But I just fucking love everything about it. It's probably my favorite Q episode, and just the whole Picard's always been so ashamed of his past, and just the continuity of the one episode where Picard's talking to Wesley. It's like, I took on these Nausicaans, and then bringing it all the way back to this one, and then seeing it actually play out. Oh boy, all that is great. Yeah. Did you already talk about that?
Yeah,
you already did. Yeah, so we already did. I love everything about it.
Yeah. The patrons, number 4, 248 total points. Lower Decks.
Okay.
Very high for them. If season 7, if you needed one reason for it to exist, it'd be Lower Decks. For sure. My number 4 is Iborg.
Ah, yeah.
Directed by Robert Lederman. Well, kind of a random one.
Robert Lederman.
That's not a wrestling name.
Yeah, no.
Iborg, here's the thing, guys. I watch this show as a television product, and so it does not matter my opinion about Picard's decision or about what should you do with Hugh. Should you, use him as this kamikaze, or should you let him go? I mean, it matters to a degree of, like, it's fun to discuss and all that, but the important thing is the discussion of it and and how they cover it in the episode. People saying they didn't like this episode because they don't agree with Picard. Okay, it's like that's a valid opinion. Like you cannot agree with them. Like I, I don't care about that in terms of like the episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but what about the big things we're talking about? The
Yeah.
huge morality that we're talking about here.
Yeah, if
That's
everyone in the episode just agreed with that one point, then there'd be no episode. It's like the point is the discussion of it. And, oh, well, if Picard would have done this with Hugh, it wouldn't have led to all this. I don't care. It's about, in that moment, bringing Hugh on board and Picard's history with the Borg and everyone being against doing this except for Beverly in the very beginning. And then, one by one, Geordi flips. Everyone starts flipping. Then
12 Angry Men with Beverly Crusher.
Basically. And Hugh kind of being the catalyst as well, and that guy being great. And then also when the only time in the entire series Guinan gets owned, when she's like,
by Geordi of all
I
people.
don't think if I had anything to say, that maybe you should just listen, or what does he say? He's
Isn't
like,
that what you do best?
yeah, isn't that what you do best? And then she goes and sees him, and she flips, and then she goes to Picard, and he's like, you haven't even talked to him? And then Picard like tries to test him. Maybe like, I'm Locutus, and tries to test him, and he's like, gets Picard to flip at the end, and it's just this is the perfect example. Like the reason this one is above Remember Me and Second Chances is because this is an example of what I want Star Trek to be about when it's not just about the characters. Like this is about the characters. It's about Picard and Guinan and all that, but it's about the bigger picture. It's about like the future, morality. What do you do in this situation? And yes, I happen to agree with Picard and with Geordi and all that. I believe that Hugh as an individual has been separated from the Borg and therefore is a sentient person and should not be used to,
For a
be
suicide
killed
mission,
for a
yeah.
suicide mission. That's my personal. But it doesn't matter that I agree. Like even if I disagreed, the point is the episode presents both sides, and our characters end up agreeing with that side. But then he goes back to the Borg, and it's almost strengthened. It's almost strengthened by Descent. Because like a lot of people could be like, oh, well, Descent ruins it because he goes back and, Descent happens, basically.
I meant because the episode was bad. Or just...
Oh, yeah, no, but what I mean is...
But it worked.
What I mean is it strengthens it because of the conversation in Descent. When Picard's like, I don't know if it was the right thing to do, but it was the moral thing to do. And Riker has to be the one to be like, no, you did what's right.
Okay.
That almost strengthens Iborg because it's like we get to see now, hey, what you did led to not good results. And like in a purely utilitarian fashion, maybe you didn't make the right choice, but it's not about that. Like it's about the principle and the virtue, and that's what Picard is to me. It's just, it doesn't matter. Like, because in a lot of ways, I am a utilitarian person. Like in a lot of ways, I like to separate morality and just look at like what's going to be the best outcome. Do that. But Picard shows me that no, you can't always look at it that way. You have to, bring into account the morals and the right thing to do. And just so great. I love that episode, and it's in season 5. So it's the I don't know, the needle in the haystack or whatever you want to say. Like it is not that the entire season's bad. Obviously, you have ethics and the 3 episodes I watched were Iborg, Ethics, and Redemption 2.
There you go.
And those 3 make that season worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I concur with all of that. It's beautiful. Love it. I love it.
And then my number 3. God, okay, I just went off. How am I gonna follow it up with this? Because I feel like I have to go off about this too. Number 3 is The Offspring.
Number 3.
My favorite Data episode. I think the way that the Inheritance hit you a little bit more for Data.
Yeah.
The Offspring is how it hit me.
Okay.
And first time I ever cried watching Star Trek. I mean, I teared up obviously a little bit with Spock and Wrath of Khan, but first time I ever legitimately shed a tear was watching The Offspring, and I get close to that every time I rewatch it. I've rewatched it 3 times now since then. Might be the most watched episode of the show at this point for me, and there's so many reasons why. But the first one has to obviously be Data. It's the first time we see this, side of him with a family member like this, and the woman playing Lal. I mean, just excellent. But they don't give her a ton of material. It's not a defector type performance. But with what she has, the best moment with her that's not with Data is when she finds out they're going to take her, and she goes to Deanna, and she's like all worried, and she's like, I feel, and Deanna's like, feels her, and she's like, oh my God, like you are feeling, and she just starts hitting her stomach, and she's like, I feel, and I'm like, oh my God, this is it. I'm like, this is depression. This is anxiety. Like, this is the physical manifestation of, like, you took an android and gave it those emotions. That's how it would react. It's just so spot on and good. And then, of course, that ending, her death scene, and the guy who's been an asshole the whole time, coming out and just being like, his hands, they were moving so fast I couldn't even see them. And then, them in there, and she's like, I love you, Father. I wish I could feel it too. I will feel it for the both of us. And her, rewinding back everything she's learned and dying. And then the ending, and then the actual ending after that, when they're all on the bridge and Data comes on and everyone is, human plus Worf, they all think, oh, this is like a funeral type event. But Data just walks on and he's like, oh no, like, thank you, but no, I'm good. I put all her, she's going to live on right here. And it's just like so incredible.
Yeah, and then the shot of him at his station at the helm there, just a little, just holds on him for a little bit. Like there might be a little something in there that it could be. I love that little possibility when they tease that.
Yes.
Same thing when they did in Legacy when he looks at the thing. I love little teases, which is why I hate the end of...
In theory?
In theory, yeah.
I'll delete the program.
Oh, hi, Spot. Damn it, John.
That's not Data.
Yeah. Damn it, Patrick Stewart.
But, that all is the heavy hitting stuff. That's what makes it number 3. But then the reason I've rewatched it so many times is because it's so hilarious and there's so many good moments and heartfelt moments. He goes to Beverly and he's like, I wanted to talk to a successful parent. She's like, oh, well, thank you. I'd like to think I am, and they talk about it. And, he's talking to her, he's talking to him about how to be a parent to her and the struggles he has. And then when he takes Law into the elevator after school, because none of the kids want to talk to her. And she's like, they were laughing. And he's like, it's something they do, about humor. She's like, even without understanding humor, I have mastered it. And then he's like, no, Law, they weren't laughing with you. They were laughing at you. And she's like, why would they want to do that? And he's like, because you're different and people are afraid of what's different. And she's like, I don't want to be different. And then just Data's face, of having it, it's just,
and Data
it's just so good.
Reliving everything that he went through. Because, he had it rough too.
Yeah.
When he came.
And just like, I'm not a parent. And like, there was a part of me that feels like I didn't want to be. But it's like seeing that, it's just like, even not as a parent. I mean, I can only imagine what it would be like if I was a parent, can relate. But not even being a parent, it's just so well told to me. That's what I love about media, is when I can experience things that I can't experience in real life or haven't. And it's so great. I think that's all the big scenes I wanted to hit. But yeah, just excellent stuff. Excellent episode. And then there's the funny montage stuff too of like, throwing the ball and her hand going up the lane, and then goes to drink the drink and falls out of her mouth. I think it's all that funny stuff is in there too.
Yeah, like, kissing Riker and all that. Yeah, good stuff.
Kissing Riker, yeah. So that is my number 3.
Patron's number 3.
Directed by Jonathan Frakes too, as you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Patron's number 3. Tied with Lower Decks at 248 points. However, Lower Decks had some number 2s, number 3s, but it didn't have any number 1s. This one did have several number 1s. It's Measure of a Man is their number 3.
That makes sense.
That makes
sense. It's wonderful.
Your number 3?
My number 3 is Second Chances. My number 1 of season 6. It is... I just love everything about it so much. But mainly what I love about it is the balls! The balls to not kill Thomas Riker. But I've already gone into my whole spiel many times about how I love the whole... I love all the points you brought up too about the two Rikers hating each other, hating who you've become and who you've been, and all that. That's great, and yeah, the just the powerhouse performance of Marina Sirtis as Deanna Troy in this episode, and when I thought about looking up in the stars, I was thinking about Will Riker was actually top. I might have been actually thinking about you, and might have been able to actually connect that, and the whole just having another chance. I love everything about it so much, but mainly the balls. Oh yeah, I think you pretty much hit all the beats there.
Yeah, I was thinking that'd be your number 1 going into this. So I'm going through my head of what hasn't been on your list, but we'll find out soon.
We'll get there too. So you brought up several Worf episodes, and my number 2 is Redemption 2. But Redemption 2 is the culmination of all those previous Worf episodes, from Heart of Glory to The Emissary to Reunion to The Sins of the Father. To me, they all are all part of one big story, which is Worf's story, which culminates in him getting his honor back at the end. The thing with Kayla is separate, but it's all part of that story. I love everything that happens in those episodes, but they all feel. I love them all, but they all feel like we're building to redemption too, and Worf getting his honor back at the end, and it's and him being so obsessed with I'm Klingon, him being like, and him not killing the Duras kid, and him dropping the knife, and just everyone turning their backs back towards the center as Worf doesn't even phase. He gets his honor back, but it's not even important to Worf anymore. It's like permission to come back aboard, sir, granted. They turn back and they face Tony Todd. And on the scene, biggest fucking reaction we've ever fucking had. Worf's my favorite character. The guy's gone through so much shit, and him to just get that honor back, and also that episode, Data being captain, all that was wonderful. But yeah, none of the Worf episodes other than that were on my list because I feel like they've all built in Worf's story to this, and I love every minute of it.
Yeah, that is it's really good. You were talking about changing your list and everything and that stuff like that as we were going. I mean, it's like I had it down a little bit lower, and like just hearing you talk about it like that, it's like it's really great, and also just Worf as a character. I mean, just
who would have thought? Like Paul wrote, who would have thought? Especially how we felt about Klingons in the past, and then Star Trek 3 just completely changed the fucking game, and then just the stuff that they've done with them is incredible. Every time, like they've given him the chance all the way back in season 1. Hey, this is going to be your episode. Let's do this. It's just been fucking great and tragic, and he's just gone through so much, but he just doesn't give up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's John Cena.
He is, dude. That is the perfect comparison. Except for when he wanted to kill himself.
I mean, he's still flawed. He still has those moments, but he has his friends on the Enterprise to help push him through. And I love him to death.
We like the show, guys.
We like the show quite a bit. Oh man.
Okay, that was your number 2?
That was my number 2, yeah.
Whew, okay, we gotta finish this.
We gotta finish this.
Oh, okay. The Patriots number 2. Oh man. The Patrons number 2. It's best of both worlds.
Of course it fucking was.
It was pretty high on your list.
It was pretty high.
It
was.
Huge jump, 317 points. Almost every list, except for the ones that would have like second chances or lessons or whatever up top. Most of them had these top 2 as either 1 or 2, or the top 3 as well with Measure of a Man. But their number 2 was best of both worlds, 317. I get it. I mean, it is what it is. I get it. I made a joke in the Bridge Crew Discord because I was calculating when I was like, every time a list has best of both worlds number 1, an angel loses its wings. And I was like, a lot of wingless angels today. And I'm not trying to shut anybody. I'm not saying like, different opinions are bad, obviously. But it's just funny more so in the sense of like, I don't know. It's just like, yep, it's that guy. It's that guy.
Yeah, it's my favorite movie's The Godfather, or my favorite Fight Club. It's
like it's a reason people love it. I get it.
Yeah, like, I get it. It's just
My 1 and 2, Alex, it must actually surprise you, but my 1 and 2 was not set in stone in terms of they were flipping a little bit. I actually wasn't sure which way to go with it, but I don't know. Again, all of these depends on how I want. But number 2 is Lower Decks.
Number 2?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yours was pretty early, yeah.
Yeah.
Directed by Gabriel Beaumont, but I even considered it for number 1. And the reason for this is there's many reasons, but the first one is I talk so much about how I love the characters and how, I love all these, and that's so true. But Lower Decks is the example of, it's like, I don't see the Enterprise as a character or the ships as characters as some people do, but I see the world of Star Trek as a character. And Lower Decks is kind of like just the proof of why I love Star Trek, like as a property, as a world, up through 1994, what we've seen.
Yeah.
And just to meet all of these new characters, yes, Sito Jackson was in, First Duty, but basically meeting her here, and we already knew Ogawa, but meeting all these characters, and it's being one of the best episodes of the show, both Gabriel Beaumont's directing, but also just, it works because it's Star Trek, and it's like, everything about it is so perfect, from the dual poker games to the promotion storyline to the fucking heavy ending that you hit on. And not even just the heavy ending, even if that wasn't there, I still would have loved this because it's just, we talked so much about like, if no one's ever seen Star Trek, what episode would you show them? I think it's this one. And like at first that's weird because it's like someone who didn't see Star Trek, they don't know why Riker and Picard and all these characters are important, but it's like, and that's kind of the point. Like, it's almost like if someone had never seen Star Trek and you show them this, they would kind of have that perspective of the lower decks people in a way. And they would learn Star Trek through this episode that's not really about any of our characters. It's just about being on the Enterprise and not being on the bridge. And I kind of feel like it's a perfect episode in that way because you see where all of our main characters are at that point, and it doesn't spoil anything, like continuity-wise or anything like that. I mean, I guess except for Tasha's death in the sense that she's not there. But I just really, really love it. And I did cry, at the end of it. And funny enough, these top three are all the three episodes that did make me cry, except for Dark Page being the fourth. I didn't do that on purpose. It just ended up that way. But I think it's fitting. And it's just the perfect example of why I love Star Trek and everything about it. And that's just such high praise because for me, being so character-driven and character-focused, to love an episode that's an ensemble episode and it's just about Star Trek as a thing and about being on the Enterprise as a thing, perfect episode.
I'm not going to work tomorrow. I'm just gonna watch. I'm gonna watch Star Trek all day. Number one. Okay, who? You want to go?
Yes, my number one. Devil's Due.
Ardra supremacy.
Ardra. Okay. My number one is Lessons. Robert Weimer. Did I think for a moment, do I actually love Lower Decks more, or maybe even The Offspring? Sure, that creeped in. But Lessons is the best. At the end of the day, I'm a guy who loves a love story, and this is the best one in my opinion in TNG. And it's a doomed love story, or one doomed to fail because you're on the Enterprise and because it's Picard. Nella could have been with probably anyone else on this ship and been fine in terms of that. Is there still maybe some, like if it was Riker, it's still first officer, but it being Picard, captain of the Enterprise, and that whole situation they go through, it is the perfect episode. You also have Wendy Hughes, rest in peace. Amazing performance, rivaling K'Ehleyr's performance as a guest actor, and just everything about it. You already hit on so much of it, but the direction from Robert Weimer, Under the Table, showing the flute, closing the box, so many of the direction, so much of the direction in the episode is just top tier. When he goes POV into the transporter room when she's up there with all the different people about to beam down, and it goes up and swoops up to her, just like shots we've never seen before. And then just the story and how the whole first half hour is just Picard and Nella meeting, falling in love. That's the episode, and then shit happens. That scene in the Jefferies tube is, I think, my favorite scene of the series, and you have them playing, and then you have Geordi and Data reacting to hearing it. And it's just so good. And it being Picard is what makes it great. Like, of all people, it being Picard failing. And I discussed with Timothy, one of our Bridge Crew patrons, about this a few months ago, about why, it's so great in terms of that, in terms of why it's Picard, is because, like, it's not because of the inner light. Does the inner light have an impact? Sure. But it's because it's Nella Darren. Like, I think Picard could have met Nella in Season 1, Episode 1, and had the same reaction to her. I think people are just drawn to each other. I don't necessarily know if I would go as far as to say believing in, like, soulmates necessarily, but there's just something about certain people that just connect, and they are those two people, and they're both fictional. But the way that it was written, they both just fit, and the reason it's number one to me is I wasn't just emotional when I cried at the end. I was emotional, not in tears, but in how I felt the entire episode. Like, the entire episode, my heart was racing. The entire episode, I'm like, this is incredible. And no other episode really gave me that. Like, it built me to that in Lower Decks and in other ones in The Offspring, but no other episode gave me that feeling of the entire episode was like, this is incredible. Maybe the bonding was close in that way, but It was on a lower level. But yeah.
And the fact we were on the same exact trajectory with Picard, falling in love with this character. Like, who is this person? Why is she so great? And, like, we're right next to him as soon as, oh no, got to go down there. Oh no, she might be dead. Like, when I talk about going on a ride with our characters, this is the perfect example. And if any other actor, it might not have worked, but she was so great as Nella Darren. Fucking amazing. And I think my favorite shot of the episode is just when they're first playing music in Picard's quarters and they get done and she's like complimenting him with the piano. And then it just zooms in on his face and he's just like for the first time in his life, fucking happy. Where he's just like, I've met someone where he's just that smile he does, where he's like, she's complimenting him. Oh, you're great. I felt so warm for Picard. Like, oh, like I want that love and admiration, and I'm lucky that I met someone who does that to me. But at that time, I felt so happy for him. Like, I want that. So,
Yeah,
yeah, good
100%.
stuff. Okay, what's their number one?
The true best episode of the series. Number one, 365 points. I was actually surprised how far ahead it was of Best of Both Worlds because I thought Best of Both Worlds would be number one. It's Yesterday's Enterprise. I do think it's a little bit ironic because it is the Tasha episode, and it's like it seems like a lot of people don't even really care for Tasha, so that's a bit ironic. But it is, just like Best of Both Worlds. It's that guy.
It's one of those. Yeah, it's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
And introduced Worf and Prune Juice. That's clearly why it's number one. Yeah,
Warrior's Drink.
Warrior's Drink. Yeah, that's their number one. What about you?
I rewatched one with I think Manhunt. I rewatched just Worf lines, with the fish people, with one being Fleetwood Mac or whatever. And this ugly ass fish people, handsome race. My number one is Samaritan Snare.
Samaritan Snare. I was wondering, what was the meme going to be? I'm thinking Transfigurations. What's the good? Samaritan Snare.
I mean, my number one favorite episode is the fucking bonding. I mean, come on. When I talk, I get it. Not a lot of people like it, but it's just everything I could ever want and more out of television, out of Star Trek, or it's just constant grief and trauma and great scenes. And I rewatched it. Oh, maybe it's not as good as a rewatch. No, I fucking loved it even more on the rewatch. Just the scene when Jeremy Astor says, "I'm all alone now, sir," and just to zoom in on Picard on the Starship Enterprise. No one is alone. Just, I don't know. It's like, it's been lonely sometimes. And this show is like my friends. So that was a warm moment for me. I felt like Picard was telling me that, like, hey, you're okay. You're with friends here. Oh, and just all the every scene is just a fucking powerhouse acting performance the plot, whatever. But like we said, the plot serves the story, and just Worf and this kid about them bonding together at the end. Just hits right here. The Marla Astor I know is not here. Joe and Hal exists here and there. As someone who's had family members die, it hurts. It hits. It's perfect. I love it. The ending when he puts the sash on him too. The whole thing was an emotional roller coaster. I was bawling my eyes out when I finished it on my rewatch. I'm like, this is peak. We did it. We don't need to make TV anymore.
Yeah,
we're done.
And Ronald Moore's first script.
Ronald Moore's first one, and he said, "Fine, I'll do it myself." And just constant great scenes with fucking everyone. I think the only one who missed out on an emotional scene was Geordi, maybe. Because I don't think Geordi had any emotional scenes with anyone.
In that specific episode?
Yeah,
probably. Yeah,
I might have spoke to someone, but I could talk about it all day. But yeah, the Worf and Riker and Data scene at the bar. Shouldn't we have felt this way despite whoever has died? Maybe they should, Data. Maybe if everyone felt any losses keenly as those we felt to those close to us, human history would be a lot less bloody. Just so many like shit. Like that's great. Ending scenes.
Another great one we haven't mentioned yet: Wesley and Riker. When Riker is talking to him about, hey, I mean, you've been through something similar. You should talk to him. Wesley goes, "How do you get used to it?" And he goes, I hope I never do.
You hope you never do. It's like fucking fire pen all the way through. And also just great sets and random things. The Worf and Troy scene when they're talking in that weird room and they're like filming through like this grated fence type thing. It's like, and Worf's like fucking pissed. It was a senseless death from a war from hundreds, thousands of years ago. It made no this fucking bullet. All levels of grief, anger, denial, except I think every scene might have had a little flavor of that. It's just
so good. And also that room. The only other time I remember seeing it is right after that in The Defector, in a really great scene. Deanna and Riker interrogating Jarok in that room, and then I don't know if we ever see it again. Random room,
but great room. Love every bit of it.
Excellent episode.
Yeah,
all around.
I'm gonna
So that is our favorite episodes of this show, as well as our patrons list. And we love the show. I think it's safe to say.
It's safe to say it. I haven't reacted like this to many things, but I'm glad that it exists. I'm glad that I decided that we should watch this because I think it changed me for the better. It made me a better person. I don't know where I'd be without it. Fucking hell, probably dead. I don't know.
Well, this has been fun, but I just want to end it with this, Alex. I think the timing's kind of funny. Don't say anything. Don't spoil it. But I just got an email. I just want you to read just where my thumb is pointing on this part of the email.
Okay.
I'm glad I got that reaction on camera. Maybe we'll tell you guys about that soon. I don't know.